I took care of that.
I still can.
And we are out there. We are slinging drinks in the YouTube world. Hello and welcome, everyone. All right. So we were just finishing up. We had a little technical problem. I tell you what, whenever we try and get 6 people on screen at one time, it just it always has its fun, right? So, life is what life is. So welcome everyone to Fiasco. I'm your host, Chris Whipham. I am literally just gonna kind of watch the whole thing, the whole fiasco, if you will, unfold. I am joined by some lovely people who I've known for quite some time, and I'm excited for our game tonight. We chose the Heroes of Pinnacle City. So once we get done doing our character build here, which we should be able to breeze through in about 15 minutes or so, let's hope, then we will get on to the rest. But let's go around the horn and kind of introduce each other so you all know, because I don't know if all of you have ever been in the same place at one time, but let's go around. So we'll start with Jeremy over here to my right.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Holmes, the green pig from Blue Pig, Pink Pig, the one that is not married to the other 2 pigs.
There you go.
That's it. That's my main claim to fame is I am not married.
You are married, but not to them.
I am married, but not to them.
Congratulations on that, by the way. I haven't talked to you since, and nice to see your arm healed.
It's like, look, it can do most things
don't do
the
that.
arms are supposed to do now.
Doesn't hurt when you do that, right?
My daughter saw the bone jutting up the other day when I was doing some yard work and was utterly weirded out. So, but that gives me more power over her now.
Good. Absolutely. And next will be right below you.
That's me. I'm Christina Rouse. I'm the pink peg from Blue Peg, Pink Peg. I am also not married to Jeremy.
Okay, that's fair. I think actually we might have that. That might be the tie that binds all of us together today. I think we'll go with that. Returning once again, I have below me is Mr. Pep MacDonald in the blue corner.
Does that mean I'm the champion from last time?
Yeah, you're my Paul Lind. If I can reuse that again, because I used it once already today, I'm going to use it again because,
So hey, I'm Pep, and I'm also not married to Jeremy. Jeremy's that way.
Yet.
I have no pegs. I am. I have a YouTube, Board Pep. I'm on Twitter, Board Pep. I'm on Instagram, Board Pep.
Awesome.
It's boring.
Awesome, and always brings the A game. Always. So be ready for it.
Oh no!
Yes. All right, next to him, coming around anti-clockwise. Let's try that again. Mirrors and all that. We have Mr.
Leland Steele. Hello, everybody. I am the only reason that anybody listens to the Incorrigible Party podcast, the Incorrigible Dungeon Master.
That is quite literally because you are the person who orchestrates it and edits it. So if you didn't do that, nobody would listen because it wouldn't even
Nobody would listen to it. This is true. That's true. Yes. No, as with many live play podcasts, the show is the characters and the player characters, of course.
Absolutely.
But happy to be here. I too aspire to one day be married to Jeremy.
Well, there's a waiting list, but it's okay. It could happen.
Yeah. And I also have no A game, so I don't have to compete with Pep in that department.
Excellent. So you're already ahead of the curve. And last but not least,
my name's John Kanost. I appreciate you letting me go last, so I had time to think about what I was going to say. I'm already married, so I can't marry Jeremy. I am a fan of Blue Peg, Pink Peg. I'm a fan of Game All Night. I'm Grishny on Board Game Geek, but Lacello on Twitter. I have a blog on BGG that probably almost nobody reads.
Somebody somewhere has to read something. That's all I have to say about that. John's a personal friend. He games with us occasionally out at the Secret Cabal meetup nights and things like that. So known him for a while. He's good people. and all that. So before we get into character creation, I just want to lay down a couple ground rules for everybody. Okay. This is a safe space.
Christina.
If anybody doesn't feel comfortable with any lines of things, let's call it out and just stop play and reassess and reassign. Okay. We didn't announce that last time, but we also, I think we're all pretty smart here, but I think it's a good habit to be in. If we hit territory that somebody is not comfortable with, please speak up. Just put your hands up in front of the camera and just stop, and we'll instantly pause and reset. So there, first things first, and obviously the other ground rules, like nothing that is going to be hurtful, stereotypical, degrading, demeaning, or anything like that. Let's keep that all aside, and silly accents can be what they are. We can always make fun of the South. I will make that caveat. So you can always have
Darn tootin'.
Right? You can always have a really bad Southern accent because that really doesn't offend anybody, and it actually is funny. So I will leave that out there. So
I do live in Virginia,
okay, well, you represent well.
so you have my permission.
Fair enough. Tonight we are playing Fiasco. Language, you guys can run the gamut. I don't care. So be free to cover the children's ears if need be. But this is definitely going to be in the high PG-13 range. So we intend to have fun and take that off the plate. All right, so first things first, we need to develop characters. Yes, Leland, I saw him smile. My God, I need to have the beep, beep button ready to go. Yeah, so be warned, people. So, because heroes curse, and so do villains. All right, so
All the time.
right, we're going to design characters today. So what that is going to be is we are going to select dice and establish relationships between everybody. And then we are also going to establish some needs, some wants, and some locations that also reside around our game tonight. So there is only really going to be one requirement. We kind of do it a little differently on the show than the book says. Excuse me. And that is the box that's associated with you is associated with the next person in clockwise order. So John, you're going to have a relationship box that will associate with Leland and all around, and Jeremy, you'll associate with John. Okay, just so you know how the boxes work. Everybody must have a relationship, must have a detail of that relationship, and the only ones I want you messing with are the ones that you're involved with. So, I don't want you reaching across the table and defining somebody else's relationship. Just worry about yourself and what's going on with you and your neighbors. And then last but not least, locations and items and all that stuff. If you choose to define what they are, that's fine. I'll try and keep us in line to make sure we have like 2 items, 2 needs, a location, so that we kind of have an idea of what is roughly going on. So that's pretty much it. So we're going to go in clockwise order here. So rolling a die, Pep, you get to pick the first die. So you get to pick the first die out of the center. Now it'll be a total of 20 die. So the first 10 dice we take, I will replace them, roll them in and replace them instantly. So y'all can do that.
That's a lot of pressure. Let's see.
Hopefully it's peer pressure, because today's game is coming out of the, this is the Playset Anthology Volume 3. It's also available for download off the Bullpit site. So, Pep, did I buy you enough time there? Are you good to go?
Well, funny enough, just because we were talking about use of colorful language and situations and everything, I just want to draw out to everyone's attention, in case nobody noticed this. Under needs, the section for number 2 is to get laid. So, clearly,
Jeremy's going to want that.
all the options.
Adult themes. So, there you got that too.
Adult themes.
TVMA.
you
YTMA.
I think with all those marriage proposals, Jeremy won't have a problem with that. So.
I think you're right.
I mean, it sounds like I got a line tonight, so I think we'll be okay.
I as soon as you swapped Leland to be beside me, I wanted to be rivals, and I see under the relationship option I have the option to be rivals. So I want to be rivals with Leland, which takes up the number 2.
All right.
And also prevents everyone else from getting laid. So, hey, it works.
All right. So that takes the white 2 and replaces it. Oh, I think we have our number. The white 2 is gone, and a white 6 will be coming in its
Oh,
place.
jeez.
Oh boy.
Wow.
All right. So the screen doesn't update right away, but it will shortly. There we go. All right. Now, Leland, when it comes back to you, you have the option to define that relationship further under rivals using a die as well. Right now, we're just picking the core categories, and we are up to Miss Christina. And what would you like to define?
So I'm defining between myself and Pep. Is that correct?
Or you can do with
Or
Jeremy
me,
as well.
Jeremy. I think Jeremy and I have secret identities.
Ooh.
All right.
Of course.
So you are taking a 3.
I'm taking the 3.
All right. And I'll be surprised if it's not a 6. It's a 2. So the 2 comes back in.
Oh. Looks like Jeremy can get his wish after all.
All right. Moving on to Jeremy, sir. What would you like? There is a 2 available as well.
I'm going to take that my relationship with John has something to do with an exotic location, the number 1.
So number 1 would be allies.
We're just doing the relationship.
In the location. Oh, we're just doing relationships? I'm
No,
sorry.
you can do location. That's fine. All right, so you're going to do exotic location. That's fine.
Exotic location.
As long
Kind
as
of need to have the location done ahead of time.
Yeah, as long as we get to a point where you have that relationship defined down to detail level, that's fine.
I'll get there.
All right, and that was a 1, so the 1 comes out. I like your strategy there. You're like, what die? Well, a 1 comes back out, so we're lucky.
I
There you
always
go.
jump around. That's how I've always done this. So we've.
Excellent. All right, John, you're next.
So we have everything except a 3, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'll take a 5
All
for
right.
origin stories between Leland and I.
All right. And that's your relationship, or yes, that's your relationship. All right. Excellent.
Okay.
So that's one time around. So
defining to do.
Leland. All the Lelanders out there are very happy.
Thank you for supporting the term Lelanders.
Team Lelanders.
You always knew you were my favorite there, Chris. Let's see. I think I'll define, or let's just burn one of these 6s here.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you know what? I'll define rivals with Pep. I like vigilante and by the book.
All right.
Oh. Like Batman and Robin.
Who's what in that case?
Okay. I don't know. Which Robin are we talking about here, Pep?
Exactly. All right. A 1 comes out. All right. So that's one time around, and we are back to Pep. I will still be rolling in dice.
Is that 3 1s now?
That is. We have a lot of 1s. Actually, it's 2 1s. That'll be updating. No,
All right.
It is 3. It is 3. That is correct.
I kind of like defining my relationships. It's good. I'll be allies with Christina.
All right. So that will take one of those 1s, and we are going to replace it with a 1.
Ooh.
So it's going to be all 1s and 6s in the end here.
Apparently.
All right. Miss Christina.
I am going to define Jeremy and I's secret identities, and
All
we
right.
are office coworkers.
All right.
So can we do this like a superhero show, but in the style of The Office?
I am just along for the ride. You all decide what the heck is going on here.
Super awkward.
That's all right. So that kills a 1, and it
I think
brings
that makes
out
Leland and I Dwight and
a
Jim.
2.
I think so.
All right. I actually just started watching 30 Rock, and I've never watched it before. And yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. All right.
Well,
John.
someone's. Is it?
It's
yeah,
Jeremy.
me and John.
Oh, is it Jeremy?
I think it's Jeremy's turn.
yeah.
All right, Jeremy.
Yeah. And I'm
Sorry.
going to follow the rules this time, and someone has to do it. So clearly, John and I are going to be entangled in the government somehow.
Ooh, using up a 6. So you're kind of hoping this is going to be a Nick Fury situation, and
You know
another
what?
6 comes out.
I am open to the possibilities.
All right.
He could be my auditor. Who
He
knows?
could be. And the auditor. All right, coming up on Jeremy. Or I'm sorry. Yep, John. Circling around.
I kind of want to define our governmental relationship a little bit.
Ooh.
Okay.
So I'm going to take a 1. We are a scientist and experiment.
Oh.
All right. That brings the 3 out. And so you could have a little Project X going on here.
Yeah. Could work well with our exotic location that I jumped the gun on.
So right now, everybody's going to learn just how bad I spell, by the way. Typing on the fly. All right, so we replaced that die. So Leland, what would you like, sir? And this will be the last new die in the pool.
Okay, I will define origin stories as parent and unknown prodigy. Oh, progeny. Sorry, I read that wrong.
Well, now I have to be the one to type it. That's the bigger problem.
Well, the
Jenny.
progeny could be a prodigy.
The prodigy, progeny.
Oh.
Excellent. All right, so
That's
the
a good
last new
superhero
die coming in is going to be a 5. So we kind of have a little bit of everything. So we'll take that and we will drop a 5 in. All right. So Pep.
Oh no. I'm gonna go with a need
All
with
right.
Leland, and our need is to save the day.
All right.
Use up that 4.
Now, Leland, I will tell you, and then just so everybody else knows, you do not have to further define the save the day. If you choose to, you may. You may otherwise use a die to just pick another large category as well that's kind of a little more open-ended. So it's your choice when it comes time to define those. All right. Christina.
Yeah. What do I have? 1, 2s, and 6s.
There's even a 3 in there, too.
Oh,
And
there
a
is.
5.
And a 5.
There's just not a 4. Everything but a 4.
All right, I'm
No one
going
else is
to
saving the day.
have an object
All right.
between Pep and I of new technology.
Ooh.
Excellent. I like it. Maybe it's nanotech. I don't know. Maybe it's a new fancy toilet. We don't know. I like that.
I hear
has a
bidets
bidet.
are in style right now. There you go.
You know it. Mine's called a garden hose. All right. So moving on to Jeremy.
Let's see. Well, I'm going to, this is going to be between Christina and I. I'm going to take that 5, and there's a need to get revenge. Somewhere in this office.
All right. And that's between you and Christina.
Yeah.
All right. You got it. Okie dokie. The dice pool is thinning. The 5 is gone. Moving on to John.
Me and Jeremy.
That was Jeremy.
I just did my.
That
I
was
got it right this time.
Yeah,
Oh, you did.
yeah.
It is my turn.
Christina and I have a need to get
Okay.
revenge.
On somebody in the office. So you have 2, 3, or 6.
Yep. Now, Leland, I will tell you this because you're going to be the person to get the last die. You get to choose whatever number you want. Okay? So you don't get hosed.
Yep.
You don't get stuck with anything. You get your complete choice.
Sure, yeah.
All right? Decide yet, John?
I'm looking everything over.
I know. It's a tough choice. You have a exotic location and nothing between you and Leland at this point.
Yeah, I'm going to define something further between Leland and I.
All right.
We're going to go with an ominous object with number 6.
Oh, you have origin stories, ominous objects. There's potential.
That's a horror movie.
Yeah, this is. Maybe they're the baddies. Maybe we don't. Yeah, maybe. All right, Leland.
Okay, well, let's further define ominous as Abraham Lincoln's still living brain.
I like it. So now it's turned into Futurama.
Brilliant.
All right. What number was that, Leland?
That was a 6.
6.
6 is gone. So 2s, 3s, and a 6 remain for Pep going in.
2, 3s. Okay. I'm going to use 2 to define new technology as a source of superpowers. With Christina.
All right.
Yeah.
Done deal. All right. Christina, you have a 6, 2, and a 3.
Let me see. What is that? 6, 2, and a 3. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna define Pep and I's ally relationship as we are allies despite our hideously mismatched powers.
Oh.
So one of you creates heat, the other creates, like, ice?
Kittens.
No, popcorn.
Okay.
Oh,
So
that's right.
nobody creates
just
butter,
should
but you
be
only create
kernels,
popcorn.
right?
Yeah. That's fair. All right. And what number was
Or
that?
he creates it and I just eat it.
All right. So let us see. That was a number.
That was a 6.
That was a 6. So we still have a 6, a 3, and a 2 remaining for Jeremy. Jeremy Bearimy.
Really?
I love Jeremy Bearimy. It's the Jeremy Bearimy tagline.
Let's see. I'm going to get an object for John and I.
All right.
I'm going to take the 3 and have our object have something to do with devastation.
All right. 3 is gone. John, you have your choice between a 6 or a 2. And it looks like
6
you're defining something with Leland. Now, it can be further defining save the day, or it can be a location. We only have one location, and that's an exotic location. And we have, you could do a need as well, because those 2 exist.
What numbers do I have left?
6 and 2.
6 and 2. Let's do a location with 6 precariously perched.
All right. That is done. And Leland, you get your choice, sir, of whatever number you would like, but you do need to define, let's see, you get to define the last thing that remains, and that is something between Christina and Jeremy. It can either be to define the get revenge, further define that, or you can define something else entirely.
Okay. Wow. I'll define to get revenge then.
Okay.
Against the small minds that call you a monster.
Gosh, office coworkers, small minds, devastation. It's like my life.
All right.
I thought we're supposed to be role playing here. What's going on?
Yeah, this is my autobiography, baby.
Alrighty. So before we get started on this, we are done with those charts for the moment. I will, at the break, we will come back to the tilt table. We are going to do 2 laps around the actual board here. For those of you who are familiar with Fiasco, what's going to happen is you have the option to either establish or resolve a scene. Usually in the first half, everybody's establishing. They're choosing what their characters are doing. And that's pretty common. What's going to happen is if you establish a scene, then you get to pick where the scene is, who it's with, and any kind of setting details, and then you start your scene. You will pick one person to be the director of that scene, and keep an eye on them because at some point during their turn, they can hold up either the white card or the red card that I sent you all, because that is going to be the outcome that the director desires. Exactly. Just hold it up in front of the camera. We don't want to stop play, but it's there to let people know the direction you want it to go. You don't have to do that as director. You can just let the scene play out and then decide what dice you want to award. But if you don't like it, it's too mamby-pamby and you want it to be a little grittier, feel free to throw a red flag on that play. Okay? So that's what the cards are for. The other thing is if you need NPCs, any character who's not involved in your scene, feel free to hop in and play that scene. If you know you're going to need one, just set one up ahead of time. That's pretty much it. At the end of the scene, you'll be awarded a die. In the first half, during Act 1, you give that die to another player. More of one color is stronger than mixed colors in the first round. Just so you know the tilt. Because what we're going to do is we're going to pick like kind of the winner of all. We're going to roll the dice, and then whoever has the most red and whoever has the most white, they have a tilt that happens to them, and that's when it starts to go sideways. And then we come back. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back after Act 2 and repeat the process going the other direction. All right? Any questions before we get going?
Nope.
Nope. All right. There's one last piece of things that we need to do that is super, super important. And that is we need to define our names. We need to know what are we calling you people? So
we need superhero names too?
Just give me, and it can be first names. If you want to give me full names, that's fine. But let's just go with if you want to have secret identities, that's fine. But give me the one that you want to work with first. So we'll start this time with Jeremy, if you would. Let's start with a name. He calling the guy who's sleeping in the back. That's what you do.
No, I was looking at my note card because I was like, I hope he doesn't call on me to come up with the first creative decision of the game. Okay, I have no idea.
It's only the one you have to live with for the next 2 hours, so it's not that
for the rest of it. Okay, my name is Paul Saint Slappery. St. Slappery is hyphenated.
Of course, I would not
S-L-A-P-P.
expect any other type of spelling.
E-R-I-E.
Slapperie.
Yes.
All right.
There's a whole other branch of the Slappery family that we don't associate with.
I'm going to have to abbreviate Saint, just so you know.
The
Spell it with a Y.
That's right. We don't associate with those.
All right. Well, look at that. See, it's even too big, but it'll work. We'll make it happen. All right. John, what would you like your character name to be?
I'll just go with what first popped into my head. My name will be Helmut Krantz. That's Krantz.
All right. Helmut Krantz. All right. All
Maybe
done.
A different government than I was thinking.
Mr. Steele.
My superhero name shall be Captain Bravado. His friends call him Cappy B.
All right. Pep.
Let's go with Ted Thompson.
In true superhero fashion,
Alliteration
Stanley,
form,
the
yeah.
alliterative names. I like it. It's
You
not
a
Ted
photographer?
Theodore Thompson.
Oh. All right, so I'm gonna go with Cece. Don't touch my shoes.
Is that your superhero name or your regular person name?
You know, say.
Do you remember the first half of the conversation we had when we started? All right. So we have our names. Very good. Very good. We are ready to go. Does anybody have any questions or anything before we launch into this? No?
Nope.
Other than, what do we do with all this stuff? This is crazy.
Yeah, do we want to predefine anything?
Yes, I mean, that's entirely up to y'all. If you'd like to kind of maybe discuss things and maybe kind of set maybe the tone and the place. I mean, I know we have a little bit of a location. We know that it is it's an exotic location, but that exists between Paul and Helmut.
That's right.
These guys. So there's an exotic location. Now, whether that is their evil lair, whether it's whatever it is, I don't know. But that's the only thing we've defined. So if you'd like to do that, set that up ahead of time, I'm all ears. And just so we know, Helmut, John, you will be picking the first scene. So you might as well think about that while we're having this discussion.
Oh,
Okay. Well, I was thinking Helmut Krantz sounds like the name of an evil doctor.
A bit.
So I was thinking I'd be the scientist in our scientist experiment relationship.
an experiment. Okay.
Okay.
And it might make sense for Helmut Krantz to have a Lincoln's brain in his possession.
All right.
So you've got the brain.
You got the brain in this relationship. All right. Anybody
I
else
think
want to
that makes
kind of...
you.
Go ahead.
I think that makes you the parent in our parent unknown prodigy. There, Helmet.
It could,
Okay.
but not necessarily.
Sure.
Maybe you're actually Lincoln's son. Who knows?
Maybe.
Is there any vampire hunting in your future, by the way? Just checking. Pep, anything you would like to define?
I mean, this kind of stuff's always hard for me because I've defined all of my relationships already technically in my head,
Okay.
but I don't want to step on anyone's shoes, so like I'll just adjust if I have to.
All right.
I think the one thing that probably needs to be defined because of the hideously mismatched powers between Cece and I is what's going on there. I just figure I don't have powers, and you clearly do. And that's all we need for mismatch. Whether you want to have Superman-esque powers where you can literally push the planet around if you wanted to, that's fine. But like, I just don't have any, and that kind of explains the technology part too. I think so.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Cece, anything you'd like to define?
No, I was just thinking more of like the exotic location, but yet what would be fun would be is if all of us were on a cruise to said exotic location, and the exotic location we end up going to happens to be Helmut Kranz's experimental lab or something, but we don't know because it's masked by maybe the best tequila bar on the island or something.
Okay. I like where that is going. Absolutely. And last, Jeremy, anything you want to kind of sort out and figure out? Declare evil alliances or anything like that?
I generally do better when I just let things go and kind of respond to it. I mean, I feel like clearly I'm somehow involved with the experiment or am the experiment. I don't know. I'll let kind of John open the scene and figure it out. I don't know.
Okay.
I've got kind of a Frankenstein monsters theme going on here, but I don't know. I'm going to be open to whatever the universe throws at me.
All right. So let's set the scene and of our debacle, and then we will get started. So the heroes of Pinnacle City, the world teeters on the brink of disaster. Madmen with doomsday devices, countless alien races poised to invade, meddlesome time travelers, interdimensional conquerors, vampires in government, and demons in coffee shops. The superpowered heroes of Pinnacle City are all that stands between the Earth and total annihilation. Now, if only they would do something about it instead of arguing with each other and hiding behind their secret identities. Pinnacle City is the center of heroism, villainy, politics, and catastrophe. Hardly a day passes without somebody holding the city in ransom or blowing up a large portion of it. Maybe you're a hero trying to have a normal life while keeping the world safe. Maybe you're an official trying to make those damned heroes get over their egos and pettily squabbling and help, or to expose them for what they really are. Perhaps you're the villain with his finger on the button, poised to show the world what you're capable of. Or, just maybe, you're an ordinary citizen, just caught in the middle of it all. So, without further ado, Helmut, what would you like your scene to be? Or would you like to give that up?
No, I've got something. Scene 1, Paul and Helmut are on an island inside a cave with glowing walls, searching for something.
Okay. All right. Who would you like your director to be? Choose your director.
I will choose Christina.
Christina it is.
Ooh.
So Christina, at any point you may call cut. It does not matter. You may call cut and hold up the big old X, do the choppy chop, do whatever you got to do. If you want to determine the outcome, you may hold up a card and just, if somebody in the scene sees it, just acknowledge it. Okay, that's all we need to do. Don't stop the scene, slow it down, or do anything like that. All right.
Got it.
All right, so I get to bring out my toy. So we have Act 1, Scene 1 with Helmut and Paul Saint. What is it? Paul Saint.
Slappery.
Paul
Slappery.
Saint with Cece directing.
Austin
Take it away.
Slappery.
And action.
So, Helmut, you brought me to this cave. Do you know exactly what it is you're looking for, or are we on some kind of wild goose chase? I know I funded
worry
this,
about
but
that. Don't worry about that,
Don't
Slappery. Just
worry
bring
about
the equipment. Bring the equipment over here. Why are you so
This is
slow?
heavy
Hurry,
stuff.
hurry.
I'm
Faster,
one guy.
faster.
My name's Slappery. I was not built for carrying things. I'm doing the best I can.
Did you forget to bring the dolly? I told you to bring the dolly.
I'm not sure what a dolly is. This isn't my day job. I'm taking some vacation from the office to come help you. I don't know what's going on.
I cannot get any good help these days.
Well, no, you can't. But what is this stuff? Like, there's just big, like, boxes.
I do not understand.
With
You came
and...
with the highest recommendations. I don't understand. I thought you knew what you were doing.
There are certain things I'm very good at.
Well, bring
Hauling
it.
boxes
Bring
is
it
not
this
the
way.
best. Okay, come on. Let's
come down over here. Come down over here. We need to work quickly.
Okay.
We only have a few more hours until the tide rises.
Okay, well, I'm
this
doing
cave
my
will
best.
fill with water.
Well, it's filled with glowing stuff at the moment. I'm actually a little bit more concerned about that.
Don't worry about those things.
That's twice you've told me not to worry about the equipment or the glowing things on the cave. I assume
I'm
you're
not
going
paying
to
you
explain all
to
that.
worry. I'm paying you to bring my equipment.
Okay, hold on. I've got it. Okay, I'm loading stuff down, dragging stuff down the cave.
He brings this
How
box.
far does
bring
this
that
thing
box.
go?
Just a few more meters down this way.
Okay.
You see where the glowing lines are coming together at the end of the cave. That is where we are going.
Yes. It's the very ominous-looking centroid sort of thing.
Right.
Yes.
Right. That is our goal.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Now open that box right there. I opened it.
Yeah. Thank God for pry bars. Oh my gosh, it's a lot of popcorn and what newspaper? Very old newspaper.
Don't throw
What
that
have we got
away.
in here?
We can recycle this. We can use this again.
Yes, it is important to
Now
be
help me
sustainable in the
lift.
glowing cave.
Help me lift the equipment out of the box.
Okay, this
Now
is
set it down
remarkably
very
fragile
carefully.
looking.
Yes, it is. You better be careful. Put it down over here. Very good. Very good. All right. Now open that box. That one there.
Yeah, you really were sealed these things good. Okay, this looks significantly less fragile.
It is even more fragile than the last one. Be careful.
That's
Right, set
very
it down very carefully
deceptive.
on top of the other piece.
Thank you. On top of the other fragile thing. Okay.
Yes, they go together. You see. Now, where is the screwdriver? You did bring the screwdriver, did you not?
I didn't bring it. I brought the pry bar.
You brought the pry bar.
Yeah, I
but
brought
not
a pry
the
bar.
screwdriver.
I saw
How
big
am I
boxes.
supposed to assemble my equipment without the screwdriver?
You're
an imbecile!
All right,
let
let's
me go out to
pause
the-
real quick. So just so we're clear, they won't stop until the director calls
Right.
cut. And you were going to let him keep going?
Well, I was curious about this screwdriver.
Okay. Well,
I mean, is it a Phillips head? Is it a Roberts? Like, what's going on?
it's a Torx. It's a Torx. We just don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess friendly reminder to us, we can always just interrupt in and as a character too if we really want to.
Yeah, and that was the other thing I was going to say. Feel free to hop in as an NPC at any time. I think Helmet got everything he needed out of that scene. So I think he's putting something very fragile together, and Paul's not exactly willing. He's just here for the timeshare and the free weekend.
Well, Paul, let me go out to the Jeep and I'll see what I can find. Helmet, hold on, just a moment.
Okay.
There you go. All right. Well done. All right. So, Christina, what do you think? Was that positive or was that a negative outcome?
I think that was a positive outcome.
I would agree. So, Helmet, you have a white die. Who would you like to give that to?
We will give it to Pep.
Pep. All right. Excellent. So moving on. Well done, crew. I like this. I like where it's headed. Captain Bravado, you are You are our next victim on The Price is Right. What would you like your scene to be? And choose your director.
Okay, yeah, I'll establish for sure. I think I like to touch on this rivalry with Ted. So Ted has no powers, but is still technically a superhero.
Maybe they're latent and
we
he
are
just
rivals?
doesn't know what they
Okay.
are. Or maybe
Well,
he can just
that
do something
exists.
really, really stupid and hasn't figured it out yet. Who knows? Who knows?
Okay, I think Bravado is certainly the by the book type superhero. So,
Okay.
so Bravado is maybe he's saving somebody,
Okay.
and Ted also attempts to save this person.
Okay. Are you on a boat? Are you in the city? Where visually
In
transport
the
us.
city.
You're in the
Okay,
city.
we are in the very heart of this metropolitan city
Okay.
with enormous skyscrapers that one may be able to bound to and fro, but we shall see.
All right. Fair enough. And
And,
your
uh,
director,
Let's make John the director.
John. You are the director. So you have the ability to control the outcome, if you so desire, and definitely control the time. So without further ado, Act 1, Scene 2, action.
Oh there, citizen, I see you are getting mugged. I would be happy to assist if you could fill out Form A 231696, and I shall apprehend this thief.
This
Oh.
form is 10 pages.
Yes, but you must sign here, here, and, of course, there. Oh, and an initial.
And why do you need my social security number?
It's all part of procedure, ma'am.
Ma'am, I believe this purse belongs to you.
Yes! How did you find this?
A very bloody man dropped it. He seemed to have tripped on some bullets.
Thank you. This guy was making me fill out a form, and you actually got my purse back.
All in a
Well, I
day's
could
work.
easily have
Well,
gotten the purse
thanks.
back, ma'am.
Well, I did it first, though.
Ah. I see you again going off the cuff once again.
Whatever gets the job done, that's what I do. But
Did you fill out the
you
proper
keep
paperwork for those
filling out
bullets?
those forms. Technically, you don't need paperwork for bullets, just for the guns.
Well, did you fill out paperwork for those?
No. Are you gonna arrest me?
As I suspected, if need be, yes. You have one strike
front
and
of this-
the number of 8.
In front of this grief-stricken citizen who just had her purse
Oh,
stolen?
she is-
You're going to arrest
She is quite
me?
all right. She has her property back, and she has escaped the effects of carpal tunnel for filling out the forms.
But I don't like it when people argue.
I suggest you run along then.
Well,
Now,
Captain
BC.
Bravado.
I think you need some tutelage. Let me take
No,
you under my wing.
Oh, you have wings now. Did you grow those recently?
Yes, I filled out the proper paperwork for them.
That doesn't even make sense, and you know it.
Oftentimes I get lost in the paperwork and it does not make sense to me, but I always find a way. I can show you that way.
Listen, maybe if we work together, you can teach me to be a little less efficient, and I can teach you to be a little more fun.
Yes, if you have the proper instruction manual, I shall give it a read in my off time, but never on the clock.
When isn't on the clock? What's your day job?
I work at a stationery store, if you must know.
Oh,
It's how
why
we
don't
get
you
all the
write down the
paper for
name
the
of the
paperwork.
stationery store here for me?
Papers are us.
Excellent, excellent.
Cut. So the captain may be revealing his secret identity, although I think he dropped an opportunity to totally name the superhero that is Ted Thompson.
Oh, I didn't want to be so bold as to go that far.
Oh, I think that was a glorious opportunity. All right, so that was called as a bad outcome. So at some point, this training is not going to be the best thing for you, Captain. And who would you like to give this red die to?
I'm going to give it right back to Helmut.
All right. Right back at you.
Revenge.
It's best served lukewarm at room temperature with a little bit of extra bacteria on it. All right.
Yes, you could requisition the sugar in the cafe.
Yeah, that's only a 2-page form. All right. So Ted Thompson, or Hero X with bloody gun bullets. What would you like your scene to be, sir? Or would you like to pick your destiny?
No, I like the scene picking.
All right.
I want to go with. I liked Cece's suggestion of the whole cruise thing, so I want to go with the scene is Captain Bravado, except in his alter ego. Cece and I, all in our alter egos, are essentially meeting up for this cruise that we were all mysteriously invited to, even though our jobs have nothing to do with each other. And just us tiptoeing around the secret identity bits.
All right. So Cece, don't touch my shoes. We'll find out if that's her real name or her superhero name. And you two can figure it out. I don't know. Maybe you're John. Now, Ted, who would you like your director to be?
We'll have Paul direct and Helmet. Well, not Helmet. John. Jump in as characters as you see fit. Whether it's waiter, boat conductor, I don't know how cruise ships work. So
there you go.
A bosun.
I also may hop in as an NPC, so just be warned. If you hear my voice, don't stop. All right. So we are on act now. Give us a time frame, Ted. Is this at the same time as Helmets and Paul's, or after your and Captain's encounters? Where is this sitting?
It's definitely after Captain and I's encounter.
Okay.
We'll say it's a couple days later.
All right. Sounds good. Then we are Act 1, Scene 3, which I'm going to call I'm on a Boat.
Why, hello there, ladies. Seem to be really down on those drinks.
They're free. Everything's free on this boat. You can go to the pool for free. You can go to the buffet for free. They can give you a drink for free. I think that guy's shirt over there was for free.
Oh, free shirts. That's a fantastic deal. Looks like that fellow over there only has about half a shirt on.
That big guy in the corner with all the muscles?
Yes.
You have to pay extra for the sleeves, I'm afraid. Those aren't free.
Oh, interesting. And what was your name?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's so many people on this boat. I don't know. I've never been on a boat before. All I know is that it's free to be here. I'm Cece.
Oh, hello. My name is Ted. Ted Thompson.
Nice to meet
Hello,
you.
I'm Tim. I'm Tim Id. A pleasure.
Tim, a pleasure. Understood.
So, have you been on this cruise before? Do you know where we're going?
Well, I know. as far as I know, we were all just invited here by someone. What was his name? H.M. Krantz.
Oh, I got that invitation.
I
was
I
on
just
it.
followed a line of people walking, and I ended up on the boat.
Are you saying you're here illegally, sir? Do I need to report you?
I was too embarrassed to ask them where they were going at first, and then we ended up here.
So, Teddy, what do you prefer to be called?
You can call me anything you like, miss. As long as you don't call me late.
Okay. Hold on a second.
Hors d'oeuvres? Would anybody like some hors d'oeuvres?
Are they free?
Of course, madame. Of course. Compliments of
Yes.
Mr. Krantz.
What is
Anybody?
it?
It's a little shrimp puff, and this one over here, this is a little crab cake, and this one we call the bee sting. It's all of the we call this the allergy special.
Oh, yes, I'll take one of those.
Excellent. Mr. Krantz will
Okay.
be with you eventually in time, but if you need anything, don't hesitate to call.
So, Ted, how did you get your invitation? How did it come to you? Because mine was sent to me in a really weird way.
Oh, well, I was just wandering the streets doing my job as a newspaper delivery man, and someone came up to me and said, "Hey, are you Ted Thompson? I've heard great things about you. You always deliver the news on time, and you're a very swell kind of fellow." And he said, "Here, I've got an invitation just for you. Had my name on it and everything in fine gold print."
That was very specific.
Yes, that sounds quite fancy. I think I might know where they got the stationery for that.
Mine came on beautiful stationery. It was 8mm semi-gloss matte print. It was very, very fancy. Had to have been very expensive to send my invitation.
Yes, 8mm is my favorite.
The price tag can run quite high, yes. I think I might have actually prepared those invitations myself.
And
Maybe that's
cut.
like absorbed it.
Nice. So Jeremy did call cut, and he did say that ended well for you, Ted. So well done. And I was surprised. We're still trying to figure out what your identity is. But who would you like to give that white die to, sir?
I'm going to give it to Jeremy to apologize for not noticing that you cut the scene.
It's fine. You were in the moment. It's cool.
It's fine. It's more of a suggestion.
I was letting Leland finish up, but he just, he wanted to be a paper salesman again. So I was just kind of...
I wanted all of you to describe your invitation, and I figured that was going to be important information.
Indeed. So, well done. So, Cece, your scene, what would you like it to be? Shall we continue? Would you like your origin story? What do we think?
I'm going to establish Jeremy and I's relationship as coworkers, and we're going to set this in the break room at the water cooler. This is going to happen about a week before said cruise and before everything kind of happens.
All right. Excellent. So your coworkers working together. All right.
On a little break.
A little timey-wimey. Sitting by the water cooler. Who would you like your director to be?
We'll make Captain Bravado Leland our director.
He likes to be in charge. Just be warned. All right. So without further ado, if you need help, just call him in. And action.
Oh,
Hey,
what a
Polly.
day.
I know.
Yes,
Oh my
Cece?
God.
Are you supposed to be drinking that?
This is a Coke with vodka in it, but it's a Coke can,
Of course.
so no one knows.
So, hey, did you catch the last night's episode of The Real Housewives of Cedar Rapids?
Yes.
It was.
How could you
It was
have missed
pretty
it?
amazing. It was pretty amazing. Those women
Yeah.
are sassy.
I mean, they're all right, but I tell you what,
love
that
that
one.
show.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm surprised they haven't invited me to be on that episode yet because, like, clearly I have in that ilk of people that they need this on their show.
We've got that.
So I want to talk about our cruise we're going on. That's going to be super exciting.
Oh yeah, the cruise. You know, I'm
You're going, right?
not sure I'm going to be able to make it. Like, I want to go, but there's this project that, you know, the boss gave me, and like, I want to go, but I think I'm going to be somewhere else. Like, there's just reports and spreadsheets that I'm going to have to do that are important.
You're the janitor here.
That's why this is remarkable. Like, I'm not ready for this kind of responsibility. Like, I have to learn how to use Excel in 2 weeks, days, whenever the cruise starts. This is going to be tough.
Well, that kind of makes me
but I
bummed
hear-
out.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I've heard good things about this particular cruise line. It's one of those like little niche ones, like not like a big one, you know, it's one of those little ones that have really bizarre locations, but you get to see parts of the world that, like, you know, who wants to go to like Rome or the Mediterranean? This will probably take you down like to a village that no telephone line has ever seen and stuff like that, like the real world, not like Cedar
Yeah.
Rapids.
But this was going to be our chance to, you know, kind of give them the old one too. You were supposed to come with me.
I know, and that was the plan, but the plans change. I've got like I've got another thing, and I'm sorry, Cece, but you know, this could be my opportunity. My big break. Like, I don't want to sling a mop forever.
Hey,
Like,
hey
the
guys,
last
hey
thing I
guys.
want to be.
Hey, I hate to interrupt, but Mr. Monroe's on the warpath. I think he overheard somebody saying that you were drinking in here, and he's on his way. So if you've got any evidence, you might want to hide it.
Oh. Thanks for the heads up.
Cut. The best place to hide alcohol is in the belly. Just saying.
And the whole can.
Whole can. All right. So Leland felt that did not go well for you, Cece. I'm sorry, but you know, you lost your bud. But who would you like to give that
did.
red die to?
I'm gonna give it to.
So John
We'll
has
give it
one,
to-
Jeremy
yeah.
has one, and Pep has a white one.
Pep has one. All right, we'll give it to Leland.
All right.
Give it back.
Leland, you get one die. All right, so Jeremy, we come to you, sir. And Paul Saint, oh my goodness, Saint Slappery.
Saint
My brain
Slappery.
is not reading. It wants to say Suplee, and not Saint Suplee, but not Slappery
I
for
have
some
to
reason.
say, my name has gotten increasingly like pretentious
Yes.
as my role has been defined here.
We expected so much
so-
more out of him,
I
but
know.
here he is a janitor.
But this may play into things. So I'm going to establish.
All right.
We're going to go back. We'll be back at the island with Helmet, and just to put the timing here, I'm not sure if we'd established this yet. I'm going to say that Helmet and I are on the island within like hours of this ship docking somewhere nearby.
Okay.
Or did
so
we say an
it's-
island? We just said a cave. We didn't say it was an island. We just say we're at a cave somewhere,
Right.
right?
So
It's an
maybe it's in the
exotic
middle
cave.
of the on one of the Finger Lakes up there, but
It was about
yes.
to flood, so
Yeah, so we're somewhere close to the coast, but we're gonna say we're within hours of whatever this ship is docking at whatever nearby port of call.
okay. So after your last conversation, then
After my last conversation,
All right.
yes, with CC.
would you like any extras and your director, please?
I am going to. We'll give the director to Christina. She took one, but I'm going to throw it back to her again.
No.
And let's see. I think we'll need some people. I can't think off the top of my head. I think we're going to need some other people, maybe assembling equipment, and maybe another technician. So if someone wants to come in as a technician, since clearly this is not Slappery's role.
So are they henchmen or assistants? I'm just curious.
Well, I think we're going to have, let's say, some henchmen. So we have some technically
There you go.
minded henchmen working for Helmet. And we're back. So we're back at now.
All right.
At the cave.
All right.
Okay.
So let's see. Act 1, Scene 5. Whenever you're ready, Helmet and Paul, take it away.
I wasn't ever sure if I was supposed to call you Dr. Krantz.
yes, this is the appropriate
Yes.
address. Doctor.
Okay, Dr. Krantz. Well, we've got
a
everything
doctorate.
unpacked. Oh, excellent. Is it in a medical field, or are you like a English?
I prefer not to say.
PhD? Okay, that's fine.
Why are you asking
well,
me these
we've got-
questions?
Well, we're working together now. Look, we're two men in a glowing cave.
I don't know if I would say we are
somewhere.
working together. You are working for me.
I'm working for you. Well, I'm trying to establish a rapport, Dr. Krantz, but I understand if you want to maintain a certain amount of professional distance. That's fine. But it looks like we've got everything out. I don't know how to put this together, and I'm not even sure what this is supposed to do.
Where are my other assistants? They're supposed to be more than just you.
I know. I'm clearly the muscle. And we've got all the boxes, and I've established the recycling is in that crate over there. I put all the separated, the recyclables and the non-recyclables. I'm not sure how we're gonna get it out of here, but there's a lot of equipment here, and it's making funny noises.
That is what it is designed to do, you know.
Well, let's.
I am surprised that you have not asked any questions about this equipment. Usually people are more curious about my work. What was it that you said you did before this job?
I was a data analyst at one of the biggest financial firms in Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Cedar Rapids. Cedar
I
Rapids.
managed.
Have you ever seen that show, The Real Housewives of Cedar Rapids? Oh, I love this show.
I have. That is an amazing show. The quality only gets better. See, look, rapport. We're getting along.
Yes,
and that's important.
there is something to this. Yes.
Yes. Well, let's get. Where's Simon? Simon was the guy who was supposed to put all this stuff together. Simon,
But I just asked you
where
this.
are you? Well, I'm yelling. I am
Simon!
yelling outside the cave.
Where are you,
I'm sorry. I'm
Simon.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm late. This place is really hard to find.
Did you bring the screwdriver?
I have the screwdriver. I have the sprocket. I've got the wrench thing. Yeah.
Oh,
Excellent,
God.
excellent. Well, get to work. Get to work assembling the equipment. Mr.
Okay, sure.
Slappery Avet, his name is not very good at this.
my role is different. But Dr. Krantz, so what exactly is going on here? Like, you don't find these kind of caves in Iowa.
this is true. What is your point?
Well, there's a
Say hello to the
glowing
commute, Doc.
things will okay. I feel.
Oh, Simon,
feel
Simon,
like
be careful
what-
with that. Be careful. That is a very dangerous piece of equipment. Make sure you
I
handle
just
it
feel like
correctly.
when I answered that Craigslist ad, I maybe didn't know everything that was involved in this position, and I gave up a cruise for this. Like I thought that this was going to be.
Are you trying to tell me you're unhappy with the financial arrangement?
I'm unhappy with the not knowing the glowing cave goal arrangements. Like that's not the money. It's I'm kind of curious as to what's going on. Like I acknowledge
very
I
well.
knew there was a certain amount of risk going into this.
Mr. Slappery, if you come this way, I can explain everything to you. Just
That
follow me
sounds
over here.
very safe. Sounds
Come
very
over
safe.
here.
I'll absolutely do that.
And cut. Oh, I'm sure it's completely safe. Completely.
Simon's seen this happen before. He's just shaking his head. Another one. Grant's got another one.
Nicely done. Nicely done. I also like the fact that like how we're establishing that like, you know, Paul's like all of a sudden he's like, is he an out of work like data analyst, but now he's a janitor? Like is it 2006 and the market just crashed? Like what's going on here?
I'd say Paul is full of secrets.
Okay.
I will say that your lighting, Jeremy, makes your eyes just look black.
you look evil.
It just
It's also just my eyes.
Excellent, excellent. Well done. We now have no more clearer picture than we had a minute ago, but we now know this Helmet and Paul relationship seems to be mildly contentious at best. So that did not end well for you, Paul. However, I do apologize. What would you like to do with the red die that you received?
I'm going to give that to Pep.
All right.
Keep him. You've got a white die, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, just let's keep that balanced out a little bit there.
Fair enough. All right. So we are moving into the second half of Act 1, and we are back to Helmet. And whatever you would like to do. Now you're now Dr. Krantz, so congratulations on that. What would you like your scene to be, or would you like to determine your outcome and let somebody else set your scene?
I think this time I'm going to go with determining my outcome. I'd like it to be good.
All right, so you would like a white die. So choose the form of your destroyer. I mean your director.
I will choose Pep.
Pep. All right. So Pep, you may get to set your scene. I know that's kind of unfortunate if you wanted to be in it, but you may set the scene for Helmet and place him at any point at any time and see what happens.
I would like for the scene to jump ahead to the cruise ship, or I think it's ahead. I think it's ahead to the cruise ship, and it'll be Helmet interacting with Captain Bravado, or should I say Tim?
Tim Id.
Tim Id.
So has the ship docked at the island? Because as we have it right, or wherever the cave is located, we haven't determined if it's an evil island lair or anything. But
I would like that
towards
it
this
is not.
point.
I would like that it is not, and I'd like him to figure out how that works.
Okay. So he got to the ship, or he's on the ship, and this is immediately after his interaction with Paul. All right.
And you said you wanted this to end positively, right?
For Helmet.
For Helmet.
Helmet.
Yeah. And so we'll have we'll have Christina on standby as henchman of Helmet if called in as necessary.
Excellent, excellent. With Captain Bravado,
Not your
he is-
character, as an NPC.
All right, and
Okay.
Captain Bravado is
Yeah,
there
yeah.
as Tim. All right. So we are in Act 1. We are up to Scene 6. Helmet and Tim Id on the boat. Whenever you're ready.
Hello.
That's quite
Mr.
a nice lab coat.
Oh, thank you. I had it made professionally tailored.
Oh, yeah.
That
it's
is a
very
nice,
good cruise wear. Yeah.
That is a nice half shirt you are wearing.
Thank you. I'm afraid this is off the rack.
Well, you have the midriff for it.
Well, I appreciate the compliments. So
I apologize.
what brings you to the boat?
Well, to be honest, business. I am hosting a convention of sorts on the island where the boat will be docking shortly. I apologize for not introducing myself sooner. My name is Dr. Helmut Krantz. And what is your name, sir?
I'm Tim Id. It's a pleasure.
Tim Id?
Yes.
Is an ego id? Very interesting.
I don't believe anyone's ever made that connection before. No.
And what brings you on the cruise?
Oh, I suppose you could say business as well. I work at a stationery store. I'm looking for clients.
On a cruise ship? Paper clients on a cruise ship?
Yes. We also sell wax for construction of paper boats.
How is this going for you? Are you making a lot of networking connections, having a good trip?
Admittedly, not. Well, embarrassingly, I forgot my business cards. Left them at the store.
This is a problem for a paper salesman, eh? Not having
Yes.
paper. Well, are you enjoying the entertainment on the ship?
So far, yeah. The live executions aren't really not really my thing. But
Well, it is all staged, of course.
oh, yeah, I assume so as much. Yes.
And how about the food and the drink? Is it all good?
Well, there's a lot of shellfish going around. I'm afraid I'm allergic. I couldn't partake.
Oh.
But
Oh,
I see some guests are
apologize
enjoying
for
the
this.
drinks quite a bit.
And
Yes,
how are
I'm
you
definitely
getting along
allergic.
with? How are you getting along with the other guests?
Oh, pretty well. There's some interesting folk here. I met a few earlier. Maybe you've seen him. He
Very
walks
good.
around in a large cowboy hat.
Well, I just arrived on the boat myself. I flew in on my helicopter.
This is your captain speaking. The next execution will take place on the main deck in 15 minutes. That's 15 minutes on the main deck, 15 minutes until the next execution.
I wonder who it will be this time.
Is there a sort of lottery system? I could sell you some paper for the draws.
I do not concern myself with such things. Well, allow me
Dr.
to
Krantz.
ask.
I've got all your bags. Where do you want me to put all of your stuff?
Simon, I did not ask you to bring all of the bags off of the helicopter. I only wanted the one. Now take all of those other ones back. Put them back. Put
And
them
what-
back.
What about the box that says fragile?
Definitely do not bring that one off the helicopter. Put it back immediately. That one should not have
Okay.
even been on the helicopter. I don't know who put it back on the island in the first place.
I'll say cut.
Well done. Oh, all right. So that seemed to go pretty well for Dr. Helmet. He's his executions are going nicely. That was a nice touch. All right. So
You may have learned Captain Bravado's only weakness.
Oh, maybe.
Executions.
Shrimp. Losing your head is definitely a blind spot, you know. So that's well done. We don't have to determine the die because John chose a white one for himself, and things are coming together. We don't know exactly where Paul is at the moment in our timeline, but Tim/Captain, would you like to set your scene or let somebody else do it for you?
I think I'll set the scene. I think Tim is trying to get his laundry done, but he needs to wash his super suit, so he has to wash it in secret on the cruise ship, of course.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know, maybe Ted could come in to the laundry room or something and find Tim trying to wash his super suit.
Where did I put my super suit?
That's exactly right.
All right, and who would you like to direct this hot mess? I mean, this scene.
Let's get Slappery.
You know, I'm just picturing like Sheldon. It's like Saturday night, and it's you know, you have to do your laundry. So, all right. So we are up to scene 7 in the laundry room, and take it away, Captain.
Oh man, this soap is just... I'm allergic to everything in here. This is terrible. Oh, hi Ted. How are you?
Wow, howdy there, Tim. Looks like you're doing some laundry. Shouldn't you have done that before you got on the cruise ship?
Well, like I said, I wasn't expecting to be in a boat. Bro, I don't even know how long we'll be on this thing.
Well, hopefully no one comes along and sees you buck naked in the laundry room.
That's true. I was unaware of myself there for a second. Could you hand me that towel?
Oh, sure. Here you go. You've got quite the physique. I don't know if I'd even call you human.
I've really been getting that a lot. Everyone's so nice on this boat.
Oh, well, I think things might not be quite as the same down on this floating disaster. You hear about those executions they got going on?
Yes, I was told that they're staged.
That's a lot of blood for a staged execution.
That's
Man.
kind of what I thought too, but I met a really nice fellow.
Oh,
He
why don't you tell me about
the
it
island
in great detail?
Sure, he runs the island that where this boat is apparently going to. Have you heard of Dr. Krantz?
Oh, the one who gave the invite to CC and myself. Yes, I've heard the name before.
Of course. He seemed quite chipper. Was very talkative.
Yeah, what was he wearing?
Oh, he had a really finely, specially made cruise lab coat.
Interesting. Excellent. Well, thanks for the information. You gave it to me with such bravado. I appreciate it.
Oh, no one's ever described me as having any type of bravado. No, that's not right. Could you maybe hand the fabric softener there, please?
Oh, I don't know. You kind of look a little hard to have any sort of softener.
Oh, maybe you could give me another towel to cover that up as well. I'm sorry, I get shy and it just happens.
Here you go.
Oh, thanks. Maybe I should be alone.
Well, just I'll head on out, but just so you know, you're not alone. If any sort of trouble comes along, I believe there's a fine cloaked gentleman who's probably nearby, if you know what I mean.
Oh, that's good to know in case those executions turn out to be real.
And cut. The moment when Pep realized what he said was he's just like,
Oh gosh.
That puts the Real Housewives of Cedar Rapids to shame.
make those dirty housewives blush. Just saying. Oh,
That's great.
Oh.
that really was well done. Well done. So Leland, you were rewarded a white die for that. So
Great.
you may distribute that as necessary.
I think I'm gonna have to give that one to Pep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he earned that.
Pep always gets me pretty hard. So.
That's fair.
Yep, I like the towel. That was good. I thought for sure you were gonna like toss him the fabric softener in like a superhero way and make him do something, kind of like gotcha.
Have to accidentally display my powers.
Catching
I
fabric.
was trying to think of
softener.
something clever, and then I ended up with the hard line, and it was just like, oh, what have I done?
That might be his superpower. I mean,
It could be. Being able to hang a towel by himself, right?
Oh boy.
All right. So let's. I call that a great one. Thank you very much for that. But memorable moment of the night, number one, maybe. But Pep, that brings us to you, sir. Would you like to? What would you like to do? Would you like to establish or resolve?
I feel like Cece and I haven't touched at all on the fact that we're supposed to be allies. So I think this needs to be almost directly after the meeting with Captain Bravado. I never point the right way in these things. And yeah, it's just us meeting in secret and talking about what our plan is for this whole thing. And I'll say that Leland is directing, because there's probably no way that he's going to be involved in this scene. And then the other two could be on standby, I guess.
All right. Excellent. So Dr. Helmet is walking around, and the ship captain is around. Although we haven't established that Paul is either on the boat or not. We haven't established that, so feel free. All right. So whenever you are ready, we are up to... Are we up to 8 already? We're up to 8? I didn't change that? There, we'll get
zooming
lazy
through.
this time. There we go. Number 8. Action.
Well, Cece, it looks like we've got trouble.
They're killing people.
Yeah, I don't approve of that sort of thing, unless it's necessary.
I mean, why would he have invited us on this cruise ship if he's then killing everybody?
Yeah, and we got Captain Bravo on board as well, and I don't know if that's on purpose.
No, I think, okay, it might be the drinks, but I have a thought. I think what has happened is that Dr. Krantz has invited people who he thinks have superpowers onto the boat, and he's trying to kill us off. Bravado knew about it, snuck on the ship as Tim id, and he's going to try to thwart Dr. Krantz's plans and take that away from us.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what sort of superpowers he thought I had. Maybe being very mysterious.
Okay, I think you can finally confess out loud. It's okay. I've known about it for a long time. It's all good. I have my thing, my thing, and then you have yours, and that's why we work so well.
Listen, I know your power. Your strength is based on how drunk you are, but it sounds like you're a little too far gone at this point. I like to keep my powers to myself. Make sure no one knows. That way the villains don't have anything to use against me.
Okay, so what are we gonna do?
Well, we got to stop these executions. Maybe.
This is your captain speaking. We're proud to announce that tonight will be a double feature. Tonight's execution, we want to welcome Mr. and Mrs. Alan Leibowitz from Boca Raton, Florida, married 47 years. Join them on the main deck tonight, 7:30 sharp for tonight's execution. There will be hors d'oeuvres and drinks served beforehand. Thank you.
Okay, well, I was going to say, we need to meet at 7:25 to stop this, but we should probably meet closer to 7 so we can have some of those hors d'oeuvres. You can't fight crime on an empty
Very
stomach.
nice. Oh goodness, you have to make sure you make time for hors d'oeuvres. I mean, that's just important.
I mean, if you're going to be drinking excessively, you also have to eat.
Yeah, but that makes you stronger, so that's good.
If that's my power.
Well, no, that just enhances whatever it could potentially be.
Now.
Maybe, I mean, your name is Cece, so maybe it's just to serve very cheap, underrated pizza to everybody. Who knows? All right. So Pep, you received a white die because Captain Bravado said it'd be I believe was the terminology.
Yeah, that's right. I guess.
Who would you like to?
I'm going to give it to Jeremy for that wonderful execution announcement.
No, it was quite the announcement. Thank you. Definitely set the tone, I think. And that brings us to Cece. Now, you have the choice. You may either establish your scene or resolve it. Your call. What would you like to do?
I think I'm trying to think which route to go. So I feel like we haven't really hit on Leland and John's origin story. So I feel like we need to get a little origin story action going on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Who do I... So that would be resolving, right?
Well, if you want to choose the scene and everything, then you establish. If you just want to choose your outcome, then you resolve.
Oh, right. So I'm going to establish the scene of, let's say, Captain Bravado is at a young age. We are learning his origin story.
Okay.
And we're going to set this at a school for special people.
All right.
That have abilities.
All right.
And we'll say Dr. Krantz is somehow involved, but we don't know what that is yet with this school.
Okay. So you and Captain are at this school together? All right.
Yes.
And perhaps Dr. Helmut is going to pop in at some point. So that leaves, would you like Ted or Jeremy to be your your director?
We'll give that to Pep.
Pep, you got it. So Pep, you are in the driver's seat. So we are coming up on scene 9, Act 1. Meanwhile, back at school.
Oh there, classmate.
have you found the cafeteria yet?
Oh, yes, of course, but they are only serving shellfish.
Oh, is that bad for you? Do you not like shrimp?
I'm deathly allergic, unfortunately.
Oh, so is this your first year at this school?
Yes, I've not made many friends. They've not shown me the form in which to fill out to make friends.
I don't think that's how this works. Let me explain this to you. So this school, we all are here because we're special. That's what our parents tell us, that we're special. And you don't need a form. You just show people what you can do, and then that's how you make your friends.
That sounds quite easy, actually.
Yeah. So what you got? What can you do?
Well, I have the power to mentally bend metal as long as no one's watching.
Okay, so
I can
squish
demonstrate
that
for you.
can over there. Yeah, squish it.
Well, no, please, if you could turn around for 1 second. And he just, and when you turn back, he's holding a bent spoon in his hand. See? Very easy.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So
Excuse me, children. Excuse me.
yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen? I'm looking for my son. My son, I believe, is a student here. Have you seen him? His name is Teddy. Have you seen my son?
No.
Which grade are you kids in? First grade,
I'm
second
clearly
grade.
in 6th grade.
Forgive me,
Well, obviously.
I do not know these things. My son is in the 3rd grade.
No. Did
Neither of
you
you-
drop him off?
It's like talking to a brick wall. Neither of you are answering my questions. How about you?
We
What
don't-
is your name, little boy?
Captain Bravado!
Your name. You're in 6th grade, and your name is Captain Bravado.
Yes.
Your parents.
my superhero
Your parents named you this. Oh, it's your superhero name.
Why?
What is your actual name, little boy?
Oh, it's Tim.
Tim. Tim, have you seen my son Teddy? He attends this school. I'm looking for him.
No, sorry, I don't have any friends. Except,
Well,
I made a new one, actually.
who's this? You've made a friend.
Well, actually, she hasn't shown me her
it's
power
me.
yet, so...
Oh, it's super cool. I can fit anything inside my mouth and swallow it. You want to see?
I don't think so, actually.
It's pretty cool. Like anything. Like that chair, that desk, that locker. I could put it. Whoops.
Well, now that earlier scene makes sense with the
With the can.
Well, she had to explain it, right? It happened, so.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. That is amazing. So,
I don't think that ended poorly, though. Sorry.
well, I mean, it doesn't have to be like horribly wrong. I mean, the fact that you just swallow things, I think, is kind of poorly. So,
Plus, in theory, you just revealed your power to the supervillain, so.
Yeah, that's true.
so what would you like to do with that red dye?
Gosh, I'm gonna give it to Dr. Krantz.
Dr. Krantz. All right. So this brings us to the final act or the final scene in our first act. That's what I meant to say. Paul, what would you like to set, or would you like to resolve?
I'm going to establish.
Establish. Okie dokie.
Yep. And so this is, we're at the final scene before the halfway point here. So we're going to come back to the cruise ship. So this is now. So this is sometime after Helmet has arrived back on the cruise ship. I think we'll need potentially everybody, but I'm going to let John be the director, Helmet be the director, because we're likely going to need our heroes.
Oh, okay.
Potentially. Who knows? Who knows how it goes? But so the scene opens up. This is just a few hours in the past, and the doctor's helicopter has landed on the helicopter pad on the cruise ship, and he's wandered off. Someone has hauled away his luggage. And anyone who cared to notice would then see Paul St. Slappery climb out from underneath the helicopter, very windblown and terrified looking, having hung on to the rungs. Helmet left the cave behind some time ago, secretly. So once he knows Helmet's gone, he begins to creep, not very sneakily, across the wide open helicopter landing pad when he sees, leaning over the rail having a drink, Cece, and runs up to her.
Excellent. So I think we have our scene.
Their scene.
Action.
Cece! Cece! It's Paul!
Oh my gosh! Oh my god,
No.
what are you doing here?
No, listen. You guys, this whole ship is in big trouble. Yes. Shh. Listen. Okay. Truth is, I didn't have an Excel spreadsheet training job. I answered a Craigslist ad because I thought it would be exciting, and I answered this Craigslist ad for this really weird guy who might be German, and we flew on a bunch of like helicopters to where the cruise ship is going, and something bad is happening. But I managed to I snuck on board one of his pieces of equipment that I think he's got some sort of machine, and there's a glowing cave, and I don't know what's going on, but I think someone needs to find this guy, and I don't know that you want this ship to dock. So I think we need to figure out a way to stop the ship from docking. And that's all I know. I snuck away, and there's a technician who's assembling some stuff. But when he figures out that I took this thing and shoved it on the helicopter, I'm sure he's going to radio the doctor. I don't know. We probably have till like 7 o'clock to figure this out.
You do know that you came from an island where you were safe,
right,
to a boat where they're executing people.
That's new information. The executing part is new.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
So on the island, there's a glowing cave with like a bunch of lines that are like, they're going together. Every movie I've seen, that's like a portal or some sort of like cosmic badness. And then there's all this equipment that I had to put together. Well, I didn't put it together because I didn't have a screwdriver, but it was put together. And this guy's got a plan, and I think the plan has something to do with the people on this ship.
Who's the guy? What's he look like?
His name is Dr. Krantz. Do you know that name? Look, he doesn't know I'm here.
Okay, hold on just a minute. Let me just text my friend, Ted.
I'm glad you got cell service.
This is just a notepad I'm just hitting it. My friend
Yes,
Ted,
I can
he's
see you typing on your notepad, Cece. What do you need?
Can you meet me out on the helipad?
No, I'm already here. I'm talking to you.
Oh, right. Sorry. Okay.
Who's this guy? Who's this guy with the awesome hat?
Ted. I don't know how you don't know Ted. Ted, this is
Wait,
Paul.
I've seen you in the Weekly World News.
Yes, that's me. I both deliver the newspaper and am featured in it occasionally.
That's fantastic.
Apparently, Dr. Krantz is building a portal to somewhere on top of also killing people on our boat.
Can you
I
describe
come back to the
other?
killing people part. Like, has no one tried to stop the killing people part?
Well, we weren't going to, but then tonight they're going to execute a loving couple, and we think that's too far. So we're going to stop it tonight.
Tonight.
Before, we weren't sure if it was real or if it was the drinks.
Okay, well, something bad is about to happen, and if this ship reaches port, then the chances of stopping it, I think, are very low. And I don't know what's going on. I asked the doctor what was going on. He wouldn't tell me. He doesn't seem to have any respect for the blue-collar workers of this world who are just there to do their job with the skills that they have.
What are we going to
Well
do,
then,
Ted?
Paul, I don't suppose you could tell me what does this portal you're talking about look like?
Well, I don't know. I don't know that it's a portal. There's the island where the helicopter left. There's a cave, and just inside the cave, the doctor's assembling all kinds of equipment, and there's these glowing lines in the cave. I've never seen anything like it. And they're coming to a point. But I did hide a piece of equipment that I'm hoping is very important on his helicopter, and I hope he'll have no idea that it's there. He'll only find it if someone goes searching through the luggage.
Did you take a picture of this cave with your phone?
Is that a cut?
Yeah, that's a cut.
That's a cut.
Couldn't find the camera.
All right. Paul flipping the script a little bit, trying to see what happens here. So Helmet, you put up a card. What was that? I think it was white, right?
Yep, things will end okay.
All right, Jeremy, don't worry. Things will be okay for Paul. But in the meantime, who would you like to give that white die to? So let's what I'm going to do real quick, so maybe help you make your decision here a little bit. Let's come back out to our main screen here. And I will give you a quick dice count. So John has 2 red, Leland has 1, Pep has 2 white and a red, and you have 1 red, 1 white. Christina has nothing.
Oh, well, let me give it to Christina then.
All right.
Thanks.
That was my plan anyways. Chris didn't make me do it.
Better have been.
Sure.
Well, well, I just want to let people know what the scores are and who's got what going on. So there we are. So we are at the point where we're about to do our tilt, which means we have to look at the tilt table and we're going to roll some dice and see what happens. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you all a quick 5-minute break. We're going to take a quick breather, and then we'll come back and we'll get right into it. So if you need a beverage, you need anything else, feel free to just take a few minutes. If you want to stay here and just yell at the chat room, you're welcome to do that as well. But let's just give ourselves a quick 5-minute break, and then we'll come back, see how this tilt turns out.
Okay.
5 minutes.
Yeah. That's amazing. All right. So what do we think so far? What are we thinking here? Leland, I like the voice work there. That was great.
Ha.
Had to work some Campbell in, did you?
Well, it's hard to outshine Kranz's German, but
The only problem is when you pick an accent, you kind of have to deal with it.
yeah, I know those feels. That's for sure.
All right, got to stick with that, right? So, anything new and exciting coming up on the Incorrigibles? I actually did not get to listen yet to. Oh well, that's tomorrow's episode, so I'm caught up.
Oh, nice. Well, we are actually recording with Matthew Jude on Sunday as our next guest NPC.
I might listen anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. They're probably going to be skippable, so.
I'm sure it will be interesting no matter what happens.
Yeah, well, this whole party is pretty interesting.
Yeah, they definitely keep you on your toes. So, like, how do you handle, like, for instance, you know, when there's, like, you had a few people join that you're having to kind of work in, but it's how are you trying to help facilitate them melding together?
It's often difficult.
Okay.
But actually, the players do a really good job of making sure they interact with our guests. So they do take a lot of that brunt off of my shoulders, which is really nice.
Cool. What's the hardest part about, like, you know, having Matthew Jude on or an NPC or something like that?
Oh, the hardest part is usually just getting our the recording that we've done ahead of what's released to a point where it kind of makes sense to have somebody step in. That's really, really difficult. But
cool. So what do you think of doing a Fiasco? Have you ever done one before?
yeah, no, Fiasco's great. I love Fiasco.
All right. We'd like that. We'd like that. I'm trying to... last time we didn't have a tilt table, so I'm trying to make one real quick. So, I got a few minutes, but we'll wait till Pepe's almost back. All right. Real quick before we get started, does anybody have six-sided dice handy?
I have some.
I could get some really quick.
We're gamers. Of course we have dice handy.
Yep. So we'll need them to roll because we're going to roll the dice that you have when we come back.
My one die. Thanks, Jeremy.
I mean, you were there in a lot of
yours for
scenes.
you. If you need me to roll yours, Christina, I can.
All right. Give me a few more seconds. Let me type this up, and then we should be good.
I got to make sure my pint glass is oriented correctly. There we go.
Which one you have?
We have our new blue pig, pink pig glasses.
Okay. Oh, nice. See, I have the Hurt Alley IPA.
Yep, that one's up on my shelf.
There you go.
We
Handed to
really
me by
want to
Rob
make
and,
that a real beer.
I think he just handed me a used one, but I'm not sure.
At least it was just a used glass. It could have been any number of other used things.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I say they don't all come pre-used. Gee, I feel like I get ripped off here.
Blue pig, pink pig. We
I mean,
lick
every peg
glass.
hasn't taken a sip out of the every pint glass you can order. What?
Yeah, I think we might
used
not
to.
be able to do that in this next time we come up to the
Yeah.
con, right?
We
Can't
used
do-
to, but
there you
we-
go.
we stopped
Share
licking
from
our
the goblet.
glasses.
All right. Now you see just how poorly I type. All right. Almost done. Last time I was having to add people's names on the fly because we didn't have them on the big screen and everybody was forgetting who everybody was.
Yeah.
So Jeremy, how do you do the tilt? I've had it done a few different ways, so I was curious how you've done it.
Oh gosh. I mean, I think we just, if I recall correctly, we just used the standard, right? It's whoever rolls the highest bad die result, and whoever rolls the highest good die result does
Right.
something. Each picks an element. They pick someone who picks the main element, and then the other person picks the sub element of the tilt. Am I thinking of that right?
Yeah, they each get to choose one thing. Like we'll have a pool of
Right.
4 dice, and you each get to choose one.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, and one of them chooses a major category, and the other chooses a subcategory over that one. Then the other person chooses the major category. At least that's how we've often.
Okay.
But
Oh my gosh.
you-
I went to the bathroom and got pretzels, and Leland went to go get an outfit. Or I'm sorry, and Pep went to go get an outfit.
Pep with an outfit.
what is?
This is his cloak. This is his outfit.
This is superhero or villain. I don't know.
And is he? Is that a? Is he?
I don't know. We have a lot of questions going
riot
into
vest?
Act 2 here.
What questions?
Yeah, we still haven't named Pep. I mean, whatever his gritty voiced alter ego is still going unnamed.
Leland missed the opportunity. I thought for sure it was going to be like Ratman or something.
Ratman.
Ratman.
I'm
You
Batman.
can still see my collar. Perfect.
Are you like a Jesuit or?
I didn't even recognize you.
All right.
Perfect.
It worked perfectly. No one expects the Inquisition. All right. So we will come. All right, I gotta type 3 things. I tell you, you'd think somebody would have put the tilt table out there, but they don't.
Yeah, I might actually.
And I want
use
people
that.
to see it on the feed. So
I gotta
All
get
right.
more pretzels.
all right, there we go. All right, I am going to apologize right now to the entire community at large for all of the typos on this form, because I am sure that there are many. Because I don't do well when I type, and I certainly don't do well when I type fast. So
Are you just gonna leave the tilt table up so we can all see it?
yeah, I'm gonna actually I'll put it up smack in the middle, and it'll.
Ooh.
All right, let me just export it real quick. Hey, I'm gonna call it tilt.jpg. Big surprise there, huh? All right. Let's pull it into the software. I'm sorry, you guys are getting a little bit behind the scenes here as we we add this in. All right. We are going to get our dice out. So what I'll do is I'll just let you guys know what the dice are real quick, so that way you can roll them. All right. So. John, you're rolling 2 red, 1 white. Leland, 1 red. Pep, 2 white, 1 red. Christina, 1 white. And Jeremy, 1 of each. All right. So let's go around. So John, tell me what you rolled.
A white 3,
All right.
a red 1, and a red 4.
All right. So your red score is 4 and your white is 3. Leland, what did you roll?
4.
4, of course. Couldn't be a 6. That would give you a fighting chance. Pep?
You're right.
4 on red, 5 and a 1 on white.
All right. Christina.
A 5.
Oh, so close. So close. Jeremy.
3 red, 5 white.
All right. So, John, you have. So let me put these dice in the center. The winning dice will be the white 3, the red 1, the red 4. All right. And then we're going to have, looks like the red 3 and a red 5. The color doesn't matter. So We'll put those in the center, and then let me give you the tilt table so that you can see that. We will put that. Wow, we're kind of full, so let's. We're not going to be able to put it in that one, but let's put it in on top of here. There's a lot going on here, let me tell you.
Oh.
Yep. Nope.
Whoa,
I'm not so innocent. I wander in and get busted.
All right. So what I will do is I'm just going to put this up on top of the screen. So that way you all can see it. All right. That'll just be the easiest way to do this. So starting with, let's see. So we had John, you're picking a die. You get to establish one of these things. You don't have to choose. So you have a 3, a 1, a 4, and a 5. So kind of like the others. Mayhem. So you're just picking mayhem, so the 1 is gone. Yep. All right. So that brings us to Pep. Mayhem. Pep, you have a 3, 4, 5, and you can define mayhem.
Cold-blooded score settling.
All right. I don't even remember typing that. All right, so that will use our 5. So John, that comes back to you. Mayhem's been established. You can use the 3 or the 4.
Tragedy.
Tragedy. All right, and Pep, that uses the 3. So that leaves the 4 as collateral damage.
Sounds good.
All right, so that is our tilt. So that is going to frame the second act here.
So we've got mayhem.
Paperwork and what was collateral damage?
All these people that are getting wiped out.
I think we established collateral damage a little while ago. What was the subcategory for mayhem again?
Cold-blooded score settling.
Okay.
All right. Now, this time we will be going in reverse. So we need to set Act 2. So this will be Jeremy leading us off as Paul Saint Slappery.
Slappery.
I struggle with that one, man. I really struggle.
Slappy is offensive.
All right.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Oh gosh. Okay. And who would you like to set as your director and your scene?
Let's have Pep. I'm just every time I look down at your screen, you've got more stuff. It's remarkable. And I'm a little intimidated, so I'm going to let you be the director.
But he's bad. He's
my right director hat.
There you go.
And we're gonna set this. Well, let's just keep going. So we're gonna set this pick up where we left off. Actually, let's do that. Let's do this. Let's move us down to the hallway leading to the engine room, and I'm there with Cece and Ted. And just as we are creeping down the hallway, Captain Bravado is going to come out. Oh no, I told Ted as the director. I think I'm going to have to make John the director because I think we need all of our heroes still there because they were all there when we left off. So I'm going to switch that up. John's the director. We're walking down the hallway towards the engine room, and Captain Bravado comes out with his laundry basket from the laundry room.
Hopefully he's got pants on.
Yeah, at this point, he's got pants.
Hopefully.
They're probably like warm though, because they just came out of the dryer, so they're all
Right.
like toasty.
Or let's just say he's covered up. Let's let the scene unfold.
All right.
See how that happens. So that's where we'll pick up from there.
All right. So we are in the hallway to the engine room with Ted and Captain coming out and Cece nearby. All right. So unless you were
And to be
in the-
clear, so Cece, I still don't know that Cece's a superhero.
I don't
Right.
think
I don't
she
know any of
knows
these
either.
people are superheroes. I just know her, and she's with this guy, and that's all I know. That's all that's going on in my head.
Boop. All right. So let us take it away in the hallway.
Okay, I looked at all of those emergency exit signs, and this is like where it said not to go. So I'm pretty sure there's something important down here. So maybe we can shut this thing down. I think if we can get the ship to stop moving, we can figure it out from there. And like Cece, I know you're good with like the accounting software, and you fix my computer when it freezes up. So I thought maybe if there's like something technical, like you could hack it.
Yes. Right. I'll hack it.
Excellent. Okay, let's go.
Worst case scenario, you
Quietly.
can just take a bite out of the computer.
What
I could,
does that mean?
but I could try to hack it too. You
What?
know.
Whatever works.
Ho there, cruise heroes. And
Oh my
You.
gosh.
It's Tim.
It's-
Id.
I'm afraid I don't know this Tim Id. I am Captain Bravado.
Oh my God,
Oh.
thank God. We have been looking for a superhero all this time.
Yep. The whole time.
The whole time. And
Yes, whatever
we
would we
are-
have done without you?
We are in deep trouble.
Forgotten to do your
Captain
paperwork, I
Bravado.
assume.
We need your help. So, just to save time, Paul St. Slappery is going to explain everything super quickly. Cave, glowing thing, you're a superhero. You can help us. Coworker, don't know what to do next. Stop the boat. What do you think, Captain Bravado?
I think I shall get started on my paperwork right now. And he just pulls from his towel, he pulls out a stack of papers, starts filling out. Glowing
Yeah, I do have a
cave,
question.
yep, Form A696999, okay.
There's no time for paperwork.
Yeah. This boat is made of
This is the time for action.
metal.
Ah, metal.
I
Yes,
promise
my
I'll
specialty.
only shoot 2 people if you don't do the paperwork right now. See, compromise.
I'm trying to weigh the paperwork of 2 shootings versus the paperwork I would need to fill out anyways. And I think we may have a deal.
Okay,
Now,
guys,
if
look,
we need to
I've reached
spend the ship, I can.
I've reached the engine room door, but there's an incredibly complicated looking lock on the door, and I don't know how to get past it.
I could
You hack it?
I could just hack it.
We need to get into this engine room, both to stop the ship and to save that poor couple, the Leibowitzes, who I understand are going to be executed tonight.
All right, so Cece takes the door thingy, and bites it, tries to swallow the whole door frame in, and as she's swallowing it, it gets like stuck a little. Too big.
You can do it. I believe in you.
And cut.
I don't know what's going on, but I think someone needs to like smack her on the back or something.
That was a cut.
Also, my coworker ate a door.
Your coworker just ate a door. Well, you saw her eat that can once upon a time, so.
Well, but that was like an emergency alcoholic situation. So this
And
is
I was
completely
also-
unreasonable.
I was also dabbling in a little bit of magic, so
Oh.
Jeremy just thought it was a magic trick.
Maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, do that. Okay.
But this is
Quick sleight of hand.
ridiculous.
How did you do
Now,
it?
do that with the window behind you.
All right. So, John, you awarded what for that one? Was that a red?
That was a red.
All right.
Oh,
So in the second round, you keep the die that you are given.
yeah.
So you may choose that as well if you choose to not establish. You may choose your outcome by choosing resolve instead. So that's entirely up to you and your whims. Well done. Cece, are we going to continue that, or do you have other plans?
No, clearly, Chris, I don't know what's happening.
That would make half of us, so that's fine.
I kind of want to resolve, I guess. So, what's the thing I can do where I set the stage, but then everybody else has, like, if I don't want to be in it?
No, you always have to be in it.
Uh,
Yeah, you don't get. Now, what you could do, and we've seen this happen, is you kind of set the scene and then jet out. So that can happen too. If you really want to kind of make something happen, you could do that.
Okay, so we're gonna have everybody in this scene. I'm gonna establish. We're gonna pick up where we left off. As I'm swallowing this giant. Well, I guess does someone have to be the director and not in the scene?
I can be if you'd like.
Okay, Chris, I'm gonna make you the director.
All right.
Oh my
I'm giving
gosh.
you the power. I know.
My chance.
So we're all in this together. I'm swallowing this door as this unfolds. Paul is shocked and stunned, and he doesn't know what's happening. Ted is trying to blast half of the door out of my mouth with his giant rifle he has. Captain Bravado is picking up all of his forms off of the floor to put back in his portfolio. And as this is happening, Dr. Krantz rounds the corner of the hallway.
All right. So let's set the scene then. This is going to be outside the engine room, continued with Dor Itus Interruptus. And let's begin Act 2, Scene 2.
Bang! Bang! Don't worry, I've seen her eat bullets before.
Oh my god! That was a big door.
That doesn't count as my shooting two people.
Well, if there's no
Forgotten
door
him.
there,
What is happening here?
Quick,
Mr.
Captain
Slappery.
Bravado.
How did you get on the boat?
we're on to you, Dr. Krantz. I don't know what's going on in that cave, but it's not good. And it's not worth the $500 you were going to pay me plus the airfare. We're going to stop this.
Oh, that's a pretty.
Well, you will not get paid. This is for certain.
It's never been about the money. It's been about respect. And Paul makes a dash for the open door into the engine room. Now, well, the lack of door into the engine room.
The hole.
The hole.
As Paul enters the engine room and Dr. Krantz approaches, he gets a good look at Ted or Teddy.
You
Teddy
two go on
Bang.
ahead, I got this.
Okay, will do.
Well,
shove
At
a handful of
last.
papers into Teddy's chest and follow Cece.
Oh, stupid paper. Oh, it's so finely minted, though. I'll keep this for later.
Well, my friend. At last we are together. Here on the ship.
No, you're
Have you
lucky I
nothing
don't
to
shoot
say
you
to me?
right now. You're lucky
Shoot
I
me.
don't put a bullet between those teeth.
Why would you do these things?
Yeah, you know what you did to me.
What did I do to you, Teddy? What did I do that was so wrong?
You took my powers away.
But I
You
fed
probably
you.
have them for yourself, don't you?
I clothed you. You did not
Oh, yeah,
need
that's a
these
good
powers.
trade.
These powers
Yeah,
were a
yeah.
curse.
I could go to Kmart and buy
powers
some
were blight.
clothes.
Without these powers, you were able to lead a normal life.
You call this normal?
Well, it is what
He
many
has a
normal people
point.
choose
He's
to
not
do.
very normal.
And yet you have found yourself among a group of friends, all of which have unique abilities.
Yes.
How do you
But
explain
what are my
this?
abilities? You took them before I even knew what they were. Maybe I could fly. Maybe I could jam large objects in my mouth.
And cut. Oy.
Oh, the life never lived. My goodness.
Yes, yes. Oh, I'm gonna say that actually went very well for CC. So I award you a white die because you got out of there before anything happened. So
Yes. Okay,
I'd say,
thank
given
you.
this group, that was well done. All right. So Teddy, we now know your name. What scene would you like to set, or what would you like to resolve?
Oh gosh, I have to be in the next one, don't I? Let's gosh. Let's jump backwards in time. I really loved Leland's like little kid voice. So let's jump back to the 6th grade. Just after that helmet scene. Where he was looking for Teddy, and it'll be me, Captain Bravado, and Cece. And we'll make John the director. And
Do you not want him to be in the scene?
no.
Okay.
It's after he's gone.
Oh, after he's gone. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Sure. I'll make Jeremy the director, and then that way, if John needs to jump in as Helmet, then he can.
Okay, got it. Makes sense. So we're
I technically
Act 2,
don't need a gun anymore.
Act 2, Scene 3. Meanwhile, back in 19 something something.
Hey, thanks for covering for me, you two.
Yeah, who was that guy?
Yeah, I don't know. He's just some dumb guy. Says he's my dad. I don't like him though. I don't need a dad.
Why does he
That's
think
quite
he's
creepy.
your dad?
I don't know, cause he didn't give birth to me, but like he raised me or whatever. But like, it takes more than raising someone to be their dad, you know?
Right. So why do you think he was looking for you?
I don't know. This whole like superhero school thing is stupid. You don't even like get your powers until 4th grade. I mean, or like that's when people usually do because like biology or whatever. But like, I don't even have my powers yet. So why am I in a superhero school? Shouldn't I just be in a normal kid school? Like, you two probably have really cool powers. Like, you're all muscly and stuff even as a kid. So you probably. What the heck was? That was That was.
What? What?
How
Just
did you
needed
fit
to
that
go
in there?
somewhere.
You're like a
I don't
snake.
know. I was really little. I was a baby, and you know how babies put stuff in their mouths, and I was just putting everything in my mouth and swallowing it, and my parents thought that was weird. So here I am.
You got your powers as a baby? That's not fair.
Yeah. So
What about you? When did you get your powers? Strange
I only
kid
bent my
with
first
half
spoon
a
3
shirt.
days ago.
What? Oh, you
only-
can bend spoons?
I bend metal with my mind when no one's looking. Yes.
Why?
I made you this one. Hands you a bent spoon.
Thank you. How? What? Your power is much cooler. I like this whole swallowing things. I could see applications for this. Like you could just swallow this spoon, right?
Yep. You don't
Do you
like that test you took? I could swallow that.
Do you have to like poop it out later?
No, it goes into nothingness. And I don't ever get fat either.
Could you swallow a whole person?
Yep. Did that once. We're not going to talk about that.
Oh my gosh. You should swallow my dad. I hate that guy.
But you just said he wasn't your dad. I'm confused.
What? Whatever. He just wants to be my dad. I'm gonna run away, and then I won't have to worry about this ever again.
Ted Thompson, please report to the headmaster's office. Ted Thompson to the headmaster's office.
I told him to use my superhero name, Power Boy.
And cut. Oh, Power Boy.
I just want to throw this out there, but you should swallow my dad should be foreshadowing, okay?
Foreshadowing, definitely.
It should be foreshadowing. I mean, I don't want to like tell people what to do, but
Oh,
I don't want to tell anybody who to swallow, but
but if you were to swallow someone, it's that guy.
it's got to be anybody. I mean, come on.
That guy.
so Pierre, Pete, Paul, Pioneer, whatever. What dye color would you like to award to poor Pep?
I saw a white. I
Oh,
think it was a
that
white.
was a white.
That was a white?
That was a
All
white.
right.
Yeah.
That was a white.
Yeah.
I like that. He got who he was. He set up some stuff for how this might resolve or not. We got to watch Christina pretend to shove her phone down her throat. It's
For
great.
those of you
Good
playing
stuff.
along at home, hopefully there's no tornado watches tonight, so that would be beneficial.
Oh yeah.
It's about that time, yeah.
It's tornado time. All right. So well done. I love time travel. It can be a little confusing, but I think it's working. So
Ooh, flashbacks.
Tim Id, what would you like to do? Would you like to establish or resolve, sir?
I think I'm going to establish,
Okay.
and we'll probably go back to the present and see what's in this engine room.
The engine room.
Paul and Cece, I think.
Okay, so you, Paul, and Cece had rushed in, leaving Ted to deal with Helmut all by himself. All right.
So
and who
I'll
would you
make,
like to direct?
Pat can direct then.
All right.
Yay.
Get to use your flags potentially.
Potentially.
So this will be. We're gonna be lazy again. Act 2, Scene 4. In the engine room, the bowels of the ship. Wah 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 wah.
Well, it appears we've found what powers this evil ship. It is a brain
This looks.
in a jar.
Oh, a brain.
That is a huge surprise.
Even more surprising, the name. It appears to be Abraham Lincoln's brain.
Okay, I've seen some pretty weird stuff. at school and kind of being around town, but what?
So that makes the whole idea of just like going in and doing an off switch a little bit more complicated, doesn't it?
Well, does it count as murder if Cece swallows a brain?
But
Did not
that
bring the
would
form for
mean-
that.
I mean,
Okay.
really, isn't this a version of the trolley experiment? On one hand, Cece swallows Abraham Lincoln's living brain. On the other hand, the Leibovitzes get executed tonight, and who knows what happens when the ship arrives at the glowing cave. Like, I'm not a smart man, but like that seems to be, like the math works out.
I mean, I could. We all know I can, right? We all know I can clearly swallow this brain right now. But don't we think that could be catastrophic? Like, what if this brain is actually doing something else too? Like running the government or paying our taxes or I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
like
It's good that
we
you
can't
have
just
that
follow
one talent.
everything.
I do think this complicates things because there's a brain running the ship. The ship isn't just a normal cruise ship.
How about this?
I mean,
How about Captain Bravado? You bend the power cord, break it, turn the ship around, and then we will go deal with Dr. Krantz.
I did bring the paperwork for 4 bends. I shall use one
Oh
now.
my god.
Please, if you could avert your eyes.
Paul runs up and grabs the power cord, just like, I can use some help here.
Good job.
No, I didn't bring a screwdriver.
If you could sign this form here, here, and there. And okay, please close your eyes. I shall bend this cord.
Polly, just turn around.
Okay, I'm averting my gaze.
Cord bends a little too much and it breaks and frays. Now it's in half.
Okay. Did that
Well,
stop the ship?
I think the ship is powering down, guys, but the bubbling liquid around Lincoln's brain is starting to not boil anymore. What have we done? I don't know. Nothing about this day is okay.
God.
I like a nice, lightly poached brain. Okay, yeah. And left turn, did not see that coming at all.
Every time I'm the director, I always want to do like the thing from Who's Line, where it's like, now do it again with like as
The
super
French accent.
Yeah, they're all French maids.
There you
And scene.
Oh, goodness.
Lincoln brain.
Uh,
All right, so now we know what's powering Dr. Helmet's evil ship. We have a portal that needs to be dealt with, and that brings us to you, John. What would you like to establish, or would you like to resolve?
I'll establish.
All right.
Okay, so I think we need to go back out into the hallway and resolve the conversation between Ted Thompson and Helmet. So we'll be the two in this scene. But at some point, I'd like us to make our way into the engine room and see what's transpired within.
All right.
So we will have Jeremy in the scene as Paul,
Okay.
and we'll have Leland direct.
All right.
And Cece might be in the scene. We'll see.
All right. So this is going to be scene 5. We're just giving up on the board, right? Whenever you're ready.
Teddy, what are you doing with these weapons? With this outrageous garb, this body armor, this hoodie? What are you doing with your life?
This body armor keeps me safe, just
From
like the
what?
bullets do. From the bad guys. The bad guys I could be stopping much easier if I had super speed.
Teddy,
Question mark?
Teddy, let me be completely honest with you. You never had any powers. You always
That's a
wanted
lie.
them. You always
Mom
wanted
said
them.
I was special.
Mom, your mother, God rest her saintly soul, she wanted you to have powers so much that she believed they would manifest one day. And she enrolled you in that school without my permission, without my knowledge. And there was nothing I could do.
Yeah. Mom said you didn't want me to go to the school. And then she mysteriously disappeared.
I don't know what happened to your mother after she walked out, but I do know what happened to you. You went to this school and you never had powers. You tried to make friends with all of the powered kids, but it never worked out, did it? And now look at
No,
you.
I usually had
You
to
think-
hide from them because they were more powerful than me.
It hurts my heart to hear this, but what is this noise? What is happening in this room?
Hey guys, I think we broke the brain.
I've got to get
Brain.
in there, Teddy.
What's
Come
he
with
talking
me.
about? What brain?
As
Mr.
they
I can only
Slappery,
shoot
what are you
2 people
doing?
today.
What are you doing, Mr. Slappery? Put that down! You do not know what you're messing with.
He did it. I mean, it's good that he did it, but he did it. The bravado.
You don't know
We're
what
not
you've
gonna let
done!
We're not going to let you get away with this, Dr. Krantz.
Whose brain is that?
You don't realize what you've done. The brain of Lincoln. The brain of Lincoln was the only thing preventing this boat from exploding. Now that you have deactivated it, we are doomed. We have maybe 10 minutes.
Now we know why the boat's called Emancipation. Now I get it.
Seems like some poor design choices for this boat.
Oh, goodness. The boat's going down. All right. So you chose that was not going to end too well for our good Dr. Helmut Krantz. So, fate she be a cruel mistress. So what are we going to do, Mr. Saint Slappery?
God.
Right now you are sitting with 1 red die, which means your outcome is more negative than anything else.
Right. And this is my last scene, right?
This
Till we
well,
get to
this
the
is the
final-
last one you're calling. Yep.
That I established. Okay. I'm gonna establish,
All right.
but I'm going to. So we'll pick up where I think we're gonna pick up where we left off, with some alarms blaring on the ship. But before we get there, I'm just gonna throw this in here. We're gonna do a quick scene setting flashback. So before we're in the engine room, we are going to briefly revisit the island, where just a little away from the cave entrance, the helicopter is about to take off. And as the camera pans to the helicopter, it pans past the cave entrance, where you see a number of technicians and various laborers lying on the ground, dead. And as the helicopter, as the camera catches the helicopter and it's about to lift off, we see Paul St. Slappery leap up to one of the landing gear, and as he does so, he tosses behind him a bloodied knife. So helicopter takes off, but now that's what happened before the helicopter got here. But now we're here, and we're in the engine room, and there's an alarm starts blaring, and up on the wall there's a big countdown clock that comes into life and starts counting down from 10 minutes.
It's quite the scene.
That's convenient.
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I had no idea at all that this was going to happen.
I mean, I don't want to start swallowing everything, but I can. I just need someone to tell me what to do.
What happens if you swallow, well, the whole ship? No, that's a terrible idea. I take that back. That's a bad idea.
I mean, I would just swallow it, but that would be it. Like anything on the ship is now gone into the void of my belly.
So we'd want to
Dr.
escape the
Krantz.
ship first.
Yes.
Can we stop this, Dr. Krantz?
I am sorry, there is no way.
This is an extraordinarily poorly designed ship, Dr. Krantz. Well, we need to evacuate
Dickens.
everybody, right?
Evacuate them to where? My helicopter will only hold 3 or 4 people.
Can I point out that I'm the janitor?
Are you, Paul? Are you?
Yes, I've got a bunch of superheroes here. We got 9 minutes and 42 seconds to figure this out.
For a janitor, you sure reek of iron.
It's a ship.
Yes, I
it's a
believe
lot
I
of
can
metal.
bend you with.
That's
Yeah.
there's iron and blood. That's the
Is that
amateurs.
well? People are made of blood, Teddy, or Captain Powerboy, or whatever your name is. But we're down to like 9 minutes and 20 seconds.
Actually, Mr. Slappery, I have thought of a possible solution. If one of you would give your brain to power the ship, it could be saved.
Well, why don't it be you, Doctor?
Well, I have
She makes an
other
excellent
more
point.
important things to attend to on my island.
Like what? What's there that's so important other than saving the entire human race? I might exaggerate
Yes.
a little bit.
What
This
is
is
important
exactly-
on that island?
This is exactly the work that I have been involved in on my island. This is why you are all come together to come to my island.
For what? A party?
All will be made clear, or would have been made clear when we arrived.
Right, which we're not going to do now. So just tell us what's on the island so I can decide if I need to eat that too.
We're down
I
to
think
like
you would-
8 minutes.
I think you would find it a difficult task to eat my entire island. Even a
Yeah,
woman
no,
of your enormous appetites.
Wait, where's the explosive? Why doesn't she just eat that?
I, by chance,
What, Captain Bravado? I think you were talking into your cape.
sorry, I'm getting super froze up.
What was your
I don't
idea?
think he completed his assembly permit.
I, by chance, do have the paperwork for a brain transplant. Yes. And I, unfortunately, have signed it myself.
But who here has the skills to be able to do a brain transplant.
I'm really hoping it's
Doctor?
Dr. Krantz.
I assume it's Dr. Krantz, yes.
Fingers crossed,
This is the
guys. I hope it's the only doctor in the room.
I could make the attempt, cannot guarantee its success.
I don't see how that would resolve anything.
Wait.
Would be
Captain.
hooked up to a ship heighten my abilities.
It certainly could.
Well, listen, while you guys are doing this, I'm going to run up decks and maybe start letting people know that there's maybe we should start jumping off the ship or something. And like the Leibowitz sound like a lovely couple. So I'm going to go give them a warning.
One moment, Mr. Saint Slappery. What is this stain on your pants? It looks to be blood.
It's like something spilled in the when the Bravado did the thing.
I'm quite certain you have got blood on your trousers.
Slappery makes a dash down the hallway.
And cut.
Stop that man!
I want to say that did not go well for our fair Saint Slappery. So
Did not feel like it.
we'll award the big red die. So, Cece, what would we like to do? Are we feeling hungry or?
No, I don't want to eat stuff anymore.
It's kind of your go-to. It's like I'm kind of done with this. It's like, do I send it into my stomach or do I send it into my stomach of holding? Like, where does it go?
Right. Yeah. I haven't quite explored like.
I'm very interested in this void, yeah.
Yeah. Can stuff get pulled out of it? I don't know.
I just picture like an alternate universe where this junk just drops in and just
Right.
like.
It's going somewhere.
Or there's
I
somewhere
feel
else,
like-
someone else in the world who just keeps throwing things up.
Yes.
Like, who just swallowed a beer can?
A door? Who? Why a door?
I want to learn more about Jeremy,
No, you don't.
but no, I don't. Okay.
Well, I mean, you guys have been continuing this engine room scene. You could always just say, "Okay, that's done. Let's move forward now." You don't have to. You don't have to solve everything. It's okay.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true. Okay. So I will establish.
Okay.
We will set the scene in the banquet hall of this cruise ship, not quite so big of a cruise ship, where the execution is minutes away from happening for our lovely couple.
Poor Rosencrantz, man. That's terrible. It's the execution. Here we go. The execution. Let's start the show.
No, I don't like that idea either.
Well, then let somebody else choose.
Okay, yeah. How do I do that?
So that just means you resolve. You just pick your outcome. Would you like white or would you like red? Right now you have one white.
I have a white. So I will pick a white
All right.
outcome.
And then who would you like to pick as your director to set the scene?
I feel like Captain Bravado needs to show some bravado with his super abilities.
He just has bravado and a weird proclivity for bending things. Okay.
Right. Maybe. I don't know. Nobody can see that.
No, nobody knows it. If a spoon bends in the forest and nobody sees it, it doesn't really bend. All right. So who's the director?
Oh, I picked that too. I will make that Jeremy.
All right, Jeremy, set our scene for us.
Okay. Da-da-da-da-da. Well, let's have this. Oh my gosh, I don't know.
I know it's tough.
I mean, I have an idea for me, but I don't want to. I don't want to hijack that. So we went something with Captain Bravado. Well, let's set this. This is we're on the cruise ship, but we're a little later. Paul has left. Krantz has managed to delay the timer, and Captain Bravado wants to do one last act of superheroism before his brain has been used to save everybody on the ship. And Paul is missing, hidden somewhere in the ship. So there we go. So this is some point later in the afternoon.
All right.
This is your chance, Captain Bravado.
Make it happen. So we are on to scene 7. And action.
Good work on the timer, Dr. Krantz. I still fear that the operation must be undergone. But should
I'm
it
afraid
fail,
so.
I do have a plan B, or should I say a plan T. And I tear off my towel to reveal my secret identity of Tim Id. Yes, just let me grab my stationery from my laundry basket here. And I start
Tim.
folding paper boats and applying
Tim.
wax to them.
May I give you a piece of advice, Tim?
Of course, Doctor.
You are very, very much attached to your paperwork. But there's more to this world than filling out papers, than folding the papers, than filing the papers. These things are all well and good. They are necessary things. But for you, perhaps this is the time to put down your paper and lead from your
I
heart.
Okay. Thank you for your kind words. Are you sure we don't need these paper lifeboats for the passengers? Seems like a pretty good idea.
My son, paper,
Look, they don't even hold
life-
bullets.
paper lifeboats will sink faster than you can say Ted Thompson.
Well then, Doctor, I shall bend this boat. And I...
Wait,
if
what?
you could... I shall... And with your inspiring words, I do not need you to look away. I focus really hard, and I try to make the boat bend into a dolphin. I try to make it form into a dolphin so it can swim.
Yes.
Your scene, Christina. It's your scene.
do you
I
mean
can
it's
choose
my
another
fault?
aquatic animal if that suits you better, Cece.
No, dolphins are great. Let's fold it into a dolphin. And then take said dolphin to this island where we force Dr. Krantz to tell us everything that is happening there.
Or else his island will blow up. Perfect plan.
Yes.
Teamwork. All right, I
And cut.
focus real hard.
Focus really hard. No one died in the process of bending a boat into a dolphin.
I smell that the I think we can see the light at the end of the tunnel here. I think it all might come together or fall apart. I think we're very close. All right, so moving on to Pep. Pep, would you like to establish or would you like to resolve? You have one white die to your name.
I want it to end positively for me, and I will let John decide how the scene goes, or like what the scene is,
All right.
and be the director, of course.
All right, John. Feel free to create away.
Okay. So we've managed to delay the destruction of the boat. Looks like we're going to make it to the island after all. But there's still the matter of these executions that are going on. You have decided that you are going to do something about it. You're going to take action because all the other heroes seem to be preoccupied with unimportant things. So you are on your way to the top deck, wherever these executions have been taking place. You're determined to
The
stop
dorsal fin.
the dorsal fin. It's now a dolphin. The ship is now a dolphin. You're going to the dorsal fin to stop the execution.
I
So-
applaud the entertainment committee's commitment to continuing the execution after.
Well, they have a natural drain in the blowhole now for all the blood.
That's
So
Oh god.
you are the main character in this scene. Jeremy and Christina will play Mr. and Mrs. Leibowitz, who are about to be executed.
See, Jeremy,
And,
we did get married.
We got married.
And Leland, you will be the nefarious captain of the ship who has been organizing and carrying out these executions for entertainment.
Okay.
All right, so we are at Act 2. This is up to, let's see, I got 9. We're almost there. Almost there. Take it away.
So I can't believe we're the guests at the big party, honey.
I feel so special.
I know.
Like, who would have
can't
thought?
We even get to sit on this wooden bench up on top of this stage.
When we
All by
got that envelope and we thought you said, remember, you said
Oh, I
it was
said
just
it.
one of those timeshare scams. But I said, this
yeah.
looks legit.
Well, before you said that, you said, where's the bathroom? And then you said,
Well, I forget easily. But
know.
now we're on the ocean. So
On
really,
a dolphin.
everything is a bathroom.
this is true. I can't wait to see what happens at our big party.
I have never felt so special in my whole life, except for our wedding day.
Yes, and the night part too.
I don't remember that part so well. But we've
Yeah,
got
that's,
8 children, so I assumed it worked out well.
Yeah, you two are mighty sweet to why don't you come up here on stage in front of everybody here and put your head in this little hole there, huh?
What for? That seems
So-
kind of weird.
Well,
Well, we're on
is
a
it-
dolphin boat, so par for the course, I'm afraid.
yeah, like this, when I go back and tell Mac all about this trip, like he told me that
Believe you.
he is not gonna. Can you imagine the next cookout with Mac and Sophia? Oh
Let's do it.
my!
Let's show them. They said
We'll
we
show
never
them.
lived on the edge. We will. Let's do it.
Like, you remember when they came back from Africa last year and talked about, like, oh, we were in the van and we saw a
And we
lion.
had
They
a
so
sheep.
right, like
This
not that-
this right here, this is why you're the winners. This is why you're the guest of honor. I tell you. Okay, come on, get up
I
on the
told
bench there.
you. I told you. I said they probably heard us talking when we got on the boat.
Well, it's hard to forget us.
That's right. That's
Okay,
right. Oh, so
just gonna
so
put
just
my head.
the hole like this.
That's right. There's one for each of you. Yeah, you.
Okay.
Just lay down right there, and I'll take this rope here.
Bang!
Rope.
Oh, the fireworks!
You two get your heads out of those holes.
Oh, but I want to put my head in the hole.
This is gonna make a great story.
You're
Someone
gonna be
had to take
executed.
it.
You gotta get down from there.
A what?
Oh,
We're going to be executing the fun around here. That's what we've been doing. You just stay right put. You, who the hell are you, huh?
The names. Shooter McGavin.
I've read
you eat shit
about
for
him.
breakfast.
Yeah, listen. Someone gave me the name. I thought it sounded cool. I did not know it was a movie reference, all right? But listen,
Well,
you
get your
gotta
turn
let
next.
those people go. No, you gotta let those people go.
I think
just
this
doing my
is
job
part of
there,
the
buddy.
show.
Your
Yeah.
job's gonna be dead soon.
You better
No,
let us
don't
go.
agree with him.
Oh, right.
Don't let us go.
Oh,
Don't let us go. Don't let us go.
Don't you worry. You ain't going nowhere.
You know what?
Well, if you
This is
shoot
fine.
me-
I'm just gonna go back and see what everyone else is doing.
Cut. Oh goodness, the couple that really doesn't care about getting executed. That's
I could have just
think
sat
they're-
there and watched you two talk for like another 10 minutes. I did not want to interrupt.
no, that was pretty classic.
And now they're dead.
And now they're
Yep.
But I think they're very happy there now, don't you know?
Happy to be dead.
They're still together.
Like,
That's all that matters.
When Mac and Sophia read about this in the paper,
They won't believe it.
They won't
They will
Don't be
believe it.
jealous.
You won't be there
We're
to
gonna be
reap
the
the
top-
rewards.
Boca Raton.
Rattin. I don't like rattin. All right. Well, that did end well for Ted. I mean, not so much for the Leibowitzes, but
Hey, it seems like it's what they wanted. It's fine.
I like how Ted's name has changed like 3 times now. It was Teddy, then it was the Power Glove guy. Now it's Death and Dismemberment or whoever. It's kind of. I'm enjoying that. Which brings us to Leland in our penultimate scene. Which
Wow.
which would you like to do? You are sitting with 1 red die.
I think I'll resolve. I want my scene to end poorly.
You want it to end poorly.
And I think Cece can be the director.
All right. All right. So we can take a second or two to kind of figure out how to make Captain Bravado, who finally came out of his shell and was able to bend metal into origami dolphins. I mean, is that
The
like
mixture
a
of his
Blade
two
Runner
passions.
Is that like a Blade Runner reference? You just leave little origami things on.
All right. So the dolphin ship has docked at the island after dispensing the Leibowitzes down the porthole or whatever it's called, the blowhole.
Blowhole.
You know what's funny? Did you all hear the new name of the ship? It's
As it docks, though, Polly somehow has managed to get off of the ship first and is running towards said glowing cave. And Leland spots him and what's the word I'm looking for? I guess intersects his pathway to the glowing cave. As that happens, Ted or Shooty Power Gloves sees this.
Shooty Power Gloves.
And he's seen the intersection happening, or the happening from behind a crate, waiting for the right moment.
Oh, so he's laying in wait. Shooter McGavin.
Wait. Yeah.
All right. So who's your director?
I guess Christina. Why not?
All right. So it is
Right.
Christina. Well, we already established that. Fair enough. All right. So whenever you are ready, this will be the PU scene. And for penultimate, take it away.
Ho there, Slappery! Stop!
Captain Bravado.
Where have you run to?
Can't
We meet
believe
again.
you. The dolphin thing. It's ridiculous that even worked. You were never supposed to make it this far.
This is my best work.
Did you fill out the proper forms, Captain Bravado?
Ah, the forms, they are now made of metal, and I can bend them to my will.
Well, you might be here, but you're not going to stop me. One way or another, I'm going to get this done. Maybe I didn't get the ship blown up like I had planned, but you're not going to stop me from getting back to that cave.
Ah, so that is your plan. Ha, typical villain.
Crap!
Now I'll have to ask you to kindly allow me to escort you back to the Dolphin. The E.
Bravado, do you even remember who I am?
I just met you today.
No, you don't. You didn't meet me today. Cece didn't meet me today. And Power Gloves McGillicuddy didn't meet me today. You all know me. You just don't remember me. You don't remember the little guy at the school, the little guy who sat in the corner that no one liked because he had weird powers, the little guy that no one would talk to when he tried to be his friends, the little guy who that weird girl ate his textbooks one day and made everybody laugh. No, you don't remember him, but I'm back. And now, just because you've solved the ship thing, I am going to take care of this cave, and I am going to get you guys once and for all. It's too late for you, Captain Bravado, and your stupid little eating everything bang bang friends.
My word, is it little Pee Polly? It can't be.
Don't call me Pee Polly. It's Slappery. It's not Pee Polly. Just because my power was to just get really moist, that was not nice. I can't decide what my powers are. And no one knows. That could have been really useful in, say, a house fire situation. But no, Pee Polly it is. And now I'm going to take care of you guys once and for all. Paul starts to run.
Yeah. What? The bullet slipped off of him.
You didn't know it was oil.
Quick, Shooty McTeddy, after him.
Yeah, I'm already going.
I'll catch up. I'm not a runner.
So at this point, Polly starts running towards the caves, and Teddy is chasing him in fast haste. Captain Bravado starts feeling really guilty about all of the horrible things he said to Pee Polly in grade school, and his emotions just come over him, and all of these emotions start causing his power and ability to take control, and he doesn't realize that the dock they're standing on is actually made out of metal, and so he
powers fold the dock up in half and squish him like this. And he gets stuck in the dock, trapped. Cut.
All right, I like it.
Well, that certainly ended bad for Captain Bravado there. Absolutely.
I think that counts as collateral damage.
Collateral damage to himself.
Well, you could be Captain Collateral. There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
All right. So, John, what is going to be your final action? Establish or resolve?
I assume Leland's directing.
I can also direct if you want everybody in it, or if Leland finds a way to unbend himself. Who knows? I don't.
Can you lure PP back to the dock so I can yell at him a little more?
His monologuing was great.
We left me back on the ship, so I think this last scene with me should be me and Cece meeting up on the ship again and trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Right.
I will actually. I'll have PP direct.
That's not my name.
PP Polly.
Kids can be so cruel.
Because I think there's a chance that we might be able to find and help Captain Bravado on our way off the ship. So you'll be in the scene as well.
All right. Excellent. And so Jeremy is directing. And whenever you're ready, the final round. Action.
Ah, there you are, miss. Don't touch my shoes. I've been looking for you. Where have all your friends gone? Where has Teddy gone? Where has Captain Bravado gone? Or Tim Id, or whatever his real name is?
I don't know. I turned around to grab a drink and eat a sandwich because I was hungry, and everybody split. All I know is that you're a bad dude, Teddy's my friend who doesn't have any powers, and apparently my coworker might or might not be a bad guy.
Miss Cece, you have completely misunderstood me. I am not a bad dude. I am trying to save the world, not destroy it.
What's all that
This
stuff
is why-
on the island?
These are very special experiments to try and research all of your powers, to understand where they come from and how they can best be used to help humanity. This is why I invited all of you onto my ship to come to my island. It all would have been revealed shortly, but now things have taken a terrible turn. We must be off.
Okay. So what happens if your machines shut down? What's the downside?
Well, we had the whole thing with the ship and possibly blowing up. This was a terrible design flaw on my part. But the other machines, there's no downside to them not working. The downside would be is if Mr. Slappery is successful in his evil plans to destroy them.
Right.
So at this moment, you hear this retching, creaking metal sound, and you just hear this crush as you look over out the nearest porthole and just see the dock just go, just like that, in the middle.
Oh no, he didn't fill out the proper paperwork.
That's Captain Bravado. We have to go.
We've got to
save
help
him.
him. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So we run
believe
down. We slide
Your
down
powers
the
may be of
dorsal
assistance.
fin of the dolphin to the dock.
Captain
And-
Bravado, can you hear us? Are you okay?
I'm very badly hurt.
Do you
Like
think
how
you
bad?
will? Do you think you will recover?
Can't feel anything.
That's a
Okay.
good sign.
I fear I will never be able to fill out my paperwork again.
So
Can you unbend the metal as you have bent it?
Are you currently looking at it? I fear I've lost. I've lost my gusto.
turn around, Dr. Krantz. Just turn around in front of your eyes. We both
I'm not
turn
looking.
around.
I'm not looking.
And
I
Dr.
focus and I bend slightest of creaks, and I can get a handout.
Try
Miss,
harder.
Miss,
If
don't
you
touch
can
my
get at least
shoes. I have an
half of your
idea.
body.
If you eat some of the metal, he may be able to escape.
Right, but I could also accidentally eat part of him. So if he can get out just enough, I could amputate a leg or two with me eating the metal.
Well, considering
This
I
does
was
not
willing
sound
to
good.
put my brain in a jar, I can take that risk.
Okay, so Captain Bravado squeezes out enough of the dock where just below the knees are still trapped in the metal dock. And I decide to eat the whole dock and his little legs,
It's a clean cut.
the clean cut. Okay,
This
now
is
what?
this is very interesting. Look at the stumps of his legs. There's no blood. It is as if they are still attached. Somewhere else.
They feel quite cold. I
Can you
can kick them.
can you feel anything, Miss? Don't touch my shoes. I must say your name is very difficult to say.
Cece, you just call me Cece. Like in my belly?
Apparently, she can feel nothing of your legs.
I don't know what's happening.
Can you walk?
I shall try.
Here, get on my
Okay.
scooter. I have a scooter.
Yeah.
He is
So
moving.
Captain Bravado. and
It is as if he
I-
has legs that are invisible.
So we decide to continue on down to the glowing cave to see what has transpired as Peepee and Ted. So we all end up meeting up at the cave. There.
There they are.
Cut. It doesn't end well for Helmut. Oh. I don't know. I kind of feel like I kind of feel like Captain Bravado is losing the will to live.
Slowly.
Take my brain.
degrading.
No, take my legs. Just please take something. Oh God.
Well, definitely
It's
has
all
a
to
martyr
save the day.
syndrome. All right.
true.
So we have a couple ways to end. I mean, we can do the official aftermath table, which is kind of fun and cool and all that. But what I think is kind of a better situation is to let everybody go around and pretty much resolve your own character based on the dice you're going to roll. So the interesting thing is you all split evenly. You're all just double red and double white. So congratulations on that. But roll your dice, and that will determine how much of a level to the good or the bad you get.
I
All
got
right.
10.
Jeremy got 10. All right.
I also
4.
got 10.
4 for Pep.
Yeah.
All right. Christina, how much did you get?
I got 10 as well.
10 as well. Goodness gracious. All right. Leland.
I got 2 3s.
2 3s. All right, and John.
A 7, a 1, and a 6.
All right. So now we can just go around the horn, and we'll go in. We can just go in basic reverse order. So we'll start with Jeremy since he kind of ended it. And what we're gonna do is just kind of describe what's gonna happen with your character as we enter the final throws. You know what? Jeremy's gonna go last. You need to go last.
Okay.
All right, because I think you kind of have the most to resolve. But we'll start over here with John. So John, so your character wound up being pretty bad off. So you got a 10 out of a possible 12. So that's kind of bad. So what do you envision your ending being?
Okay. Well, Dr. Krantz was a misunderstood man. Everyone thought he was a villain, but it was actually his dumb assistant that was the villain. Basically, his life's work is ruined. He had planned to study these heroes. He had planned to learn more about their powers and use them to help the world, but instead, his equipment just goes useless. It lies useless. It doesn't get used. We don't know how that's going to happen yet because that might depend on some of the other endings. But his life dream of studying the supers and learning more about them was crushed and ended here.
So sad. So sad. So let's move to a slightly happier note with Ted. And moderately happy, like a 4 out of 12. It didn't go completely sideways, but he's not altogether happy.
Okay, so I followed PP into the cave.
Not my name.
And took a couple more attempts at shooting him. Didn't really work out. He got ahead of me. But I got distracted when I saw the cave wall, and I saw just the glowing, and it intrigued me. And when I touched the wall, it just kind of clicked. Like, the power that I had all along was the power of loneliness. Where
I think a lot of people have that power right now, but that's cool. That's good.
Where no matter what he had, he would always feel as if he didn't have enough.
All right. Excellent.
And so that's why his father wanted to take that away from him.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Poor Ted. Daddy issues, Ted. And you weren't even the one who drew relations with him. That's hysterical. So you must be like related to Captain Bravado, who doesn't even know it. But so Captain Bravado, what happens to you? Either are you floating on legs that don't quite exist? Are you running around on a scooter? What happened here?
Well, I think both. I got this sweet scooter that I'm borrowing from CC. I can still feel my legs. I mean, a 6 isn't that bad, right?
It's still all bad.
Right. Okay. I still. Well, my need was to save the day, so I certainly failed in doing that. And I think though, when CC ate my legs, the ship, no longer under the influence of my power, reverted back to a regular boat. So I don't even have the dolphin ship anymore to marvel at of my own tremendous power, or to use to sail the open seas.
Interesting. All right. So Cece, things ended very well for you. Very well. So what happened?
So, as we approached the cave or whatnot, I saw my good friend Ted touch the wall of the cave and get invigorated with the realism of his superpower, which was loneliness. And albeit as that is sad, he and I both rejoiced because now he recognized that he had these abilities all along, and that he did belong at the school and that he did have friends. We agreed that from this point on, we would be a duo, a superhero duo, and where we would meet situations that didn't have anything. Ted would take the lead, those void situations, he would take the lead. And then when we would get into situations where there was too much of anything, I would just eat it all up. And so we would balance each other out that way. So we were excited because we were building this super duo team out of this situation. The other awesome thing that happened was clearly the bodies from the executions started floating around in the oceans, and people started to ask questions about what had happened. And so I was approached by the government and all of these organizations because they needed to hide what was happening here. And so I then gobbled all of that up to hide the evidence of the horrible things that had happened on the seas, hence elevating our superhero status, Ted and I's superhero status, to make a name for ourselves moving forward.
Awesome. So Mr. Saint Slappery, things looked very well, like they were going to come together, but alas, they went horribly awry. What the heck happened?
So, clearly Paul's lifelong desire was to get revenge against the small minds that called him a monster, specifically a pee-pee monster. But this did not work out so well. He thought he was in the clear when Captain Bravado was snapped into his own dock, and was making it to the cave where he was going to use Helmet's equipment to give himself some really amazing superpowers, when Ted behind him was shooting at him. Now, all Ted saw was that the bullets slipped off of St. Slappery's weirdly oily, moist outer covering. What he didn't realize is that the shrapnel embedded itself into all of the fragile machinery. So in the moment that Ted was touching the wall of the cave, having this massive introspective moment, there were sparks flying, electrical arcs tracing along the cave walls, which did in fact connect Saint Slappery to the cave. But the uncontrolled power of this equipment, all it did was enhance Slappery's existing powers, so that he did in fact become the urinator. And that was the only thing he was able to do. He survived. And when the government came and had this whole setup with Cece and Ted, they knew that they needed a supervillain that they could easily control. So St. Slappery actually became a humiliating puppet in the government's various scenarios whenever they needed to set Cece and the Guninator up against someone that they could easily defeat to increase ratings. So Saint Slappery lived. He did not get his revenge. His really useless superpowers were enhanced to be even more humiliating, and he was forced to exist like that for whatever time.
Wow, that's That's pretty grim.
Brutal.
Yeah, it's not a great turnout for Paul Safe Slappery, the urinator.
PP.
Mr. Moist.
Mr. Moist.
Mr. Moist.
Oh, you know, Captain Urination, you know. It's
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
wow.
PP Polly.
Well, there we go. So that ends our fiasco for the better or worse. And it
Wow.
always leaves me wanting a sequel every time we do this.
Uh-huh.
Kind of want to know more of what happens. I want
Well,
to give it a huge thank you for everybody for showing up. Thank you so
wait
much.
till the urinator and the defecator team up in the sequel.
The only problem is you can't do both at the same time. You have to.
That's all right. Cece will just eat it all.
Ah!
Oh man!
Listen, I can't shoot poop away.
I like how there's.
Well, I guess you can. You can shoot the shit.
Yeah. And CC can eat it. So see.
Yeah.
No, I can't. Mm-mm.
Nope. Well, I like how there's
We never got to
this
touch
unanswered
on
question
Leland's
of
weakness, the
where
fish.
it goes, right? Like we don't know.
The real
Yeah,
question
yeah.
is, does she taste everything she eats?
Nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I think that's the real
What's the
superpower.
She was gonna eat a brain earlier, so.
All right.
Well, that was a lot of fun, everybody.
It was fun.
Yeah, so this was like, I know you've played before, but you said this was the first time you did it like online in this situation. How do you feel? Do you think it at least got close for you?
Are you
Yeah,
talking to Jeremy?
Yeah.
Both, actually.
Fiasco's always an interesting experience because I had no idea when I was hauling crates around what I was going to end up doing. You know, I was just a doofus who didn't bring a screwdriver. So that's the best part about these games.
I like the bumbling idiot to, mastermind transformation. That was kind of
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah.
I never know what I'm doing though, so I'm glad when it always works out.
Nobody does. That's the best part.
I don't know. I
Easily
always
had the
knew
best super-
Bravado would die by dock, so almost got it.
Death by dock.
It was the
I'll
plan
dock
from the
your
start.
pay for that. All right. Well, guys and girls, let's go around the horn one last time and just tell people where they can find you if they want to follow you. If you do anything cool, where you post it and what you do. So we'll start this time over here with Helmut Kranz, paid by John Kanost.
Hi. Yep, I can. You can find me on Twitter as Lacello, as it says there. I'm Grishny, Grishny, almost everywhere else, including on Board Game Geek. That's where I have my blog, which is pretty much weekly recaps of what I play. So you'll find a recap of this on there next Monday.
There you go. Be sure to tag us. We need to know what the inside thoughts were of the once mastermind. All right. Coming up next is Captain Bravado, played by the venerable Leland Steele.
I am the Dungeon Master of the Incorrigible Party podcast, a Dungeons & Dragons 5e live play experience. Incorrigible Par on Twitter, the Incorrigible Party on Instagram, anywhere your podcast downloads or desires take you, you can find us.
Yeah, and there's scuttlebutt afoot to try and get all of the Incorrigible Party to play a Fiasco of Paranoia together. So
Oh, that'd be a blast.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
I offered to host that one, just so you know. I'll gladly watch that hot mess happen live. All right. So Teddy Thompson, played by Pep MacDonald. Pep?
That's me. I have YouTube, Twitter, both are at BoardPep. I play through some board games by myself, along with other characters of me occasionally. And then, do game reviews, that kind of stuff. Watch it. It's fun.
Awesome. Thanks again for being on. I know it's always a blast to have you on. You bring a lot of
no
flavor.
problem.
Definitely.
Yeah, you definitely, when you came out in the second act with your getup, I was like, I am not prepared. So you definitely.
So how many people
raised
realized
the
that was
bar.
not like a Nerf Gatling gun? That was a tripod. That was very impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know, the funny thing was, I have a Nerf gun over there too.
I
course
fell
you do.
for it.
Well,
course you
when
do.
Pep was a guest NPC on the Incorrigible Party for the podcast, he dressed up. So.
Oh,
There
wow.
Here we
Oh
go.
wow.
Nice.
The problem was this thing is just like it's so like big and green.
Yeah.
And it just didn't. It didn't really feel like it
Yeah.
fit all that well, you know.
I agree.
Yeah,
I like the
your
tripod
gun is
words.
better.
Tripod
Yeah.
gun. I know
For
where I'm going to
sure.
hide my next prison gun. It's going to be in there. All right. Cece, Don't Touch My Shoes, played by Miss Christina Rouse. Thank you.
Yes. So I am one of the co-hosts of Blue Peg Pink Peg board gaming podcast. You can find us on all social media platforms under Blue Peg Pink Peg. I am specifically BPPP Piranha Pig on Twitter. And we are a podcast about board games, relationships, and the interaction between the two. So this was super fun. Thank you so much for having me, inviting me. It was nice to play with people who I don't normally get to play games with either. So that was awesome.
Awesome. Even Jeremy, right? That was okay.
Even Jeremy.
So speaking of Mr. Paul St. Slappery, played by Jeremy Holmes, sir.
Well, I am the lesser third of Blue Peg, Pink Peg board gaming podcast. You got my Twitter name there, Pure Noir. We will be dropping an episode, I think Monday.
Monday,
So
yeah.
We'll be talking about this and hopefully making Rob jealous that he was not involved. Though I think I heard him shouting in the background for a while there.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for inviting me. I haven't played Fiasco in a while. This was a blast. It was great to Pep, Leland, John, to get to play with you guys. And I hope this is something we do again. This was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I think it's highly entertaining. It was a lot of fun. You guys I wasn't sure how this playset was going to go, and I still don't know how it went. That was crazy. But...
It was good.
It had all the right story arcs. The highs were high and the lows were low.
It totally did. It totally did. But it was really well done. Thank you so much for playing along. This was great. And, thank you for watching all the way to the end and having a good time with us. And stay safe, wash your hands, and play games with people. So there you go. All right. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
This way.
Night.